Come on, Alvin. Wanna go outside? Wanna go outside? Oh, you ready to go outside? Come on, bub. What can I get you to drink?
I just love some water without ice.
You got it. Do you like caffeine?
What do you got?
I've been taking these ever since they started sponsoring me, and now I love them.
Oh wait, I've heard about these.
Magic Mind.
I'll probably have one of these. I did just take some rhodiola and some lion's mane.
There's not much. It doesn't rip you up. It's like really subtle.
Oh my god, that was such a pounce.
He loves Magic Mind, dude.
You went flying. Oh my god.
Yeah, I take them before pods now.
Yeah.
No obligations, of course.
No, I will. I think there's no hope for me, but we'll take alongside your morning caffeine. I like that alongside.
Space Jam or Dumb and Dumber cup?
Dumb and Dumber.
Could have guessed.
Are you serious?
About what?
You would have guessed that, right?
Yeah, I said I could have guessed.
Okay, you could have.
You thought I said I couldn't have guessed.
No, I thought you said. I heard what you said. I was just confirming that you said I could have guessed.
I have a feeling this podcast is gonna go well.
Scoot doo, blabbity blue, scoop dee. Oh yeah.
Do, David, check, docile, henchman, Kraus, violin, stamps, scorched earth. Oh. Well.
All right, look at the camera for me. Let's see you there. Oh yeah, that's gonna be good. Real good. I'm gonna get myself a glass of water.
A glass.
I'll do Space Jam.
I've never seen Space Jam.
Really?
Yeah, no. I mean, sometimes it's certain things where, I know what it looks like.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. It's like. I mean, I've never seen that. I've never seen The Cup. I've also never seen the movie that The Cup is based upon.
I think The Cup came first. You know, a lot of people think
The Cup came first.
People think it's pretentious, but I really like The Cup better
Than the movie?
Yeah. People will.
There's a lot of things I think I like The Cups better than the movie because it's like anything that McDonald's ever did in the 90s. I think I was probably into The Cup more than I was the thing.
Turtles and X-Men?
Well, I guess that's the. No, I like Turtles quite a bit.
Thanks.
I like Turtles quite a bit.
Yeah.
I feel like I always feel Canadian when I say quite.
I didn't know you were Canadian.
I'm not. I said I feel Canadian.
Oh.
I'm not Canadian. I'm from. Oh.
It doesn't get old. For the audio-only listeners, the doggy jumped on me, and I am obsessed.
Who's listening to the audio only?
People who listen to the audio. Can I tell you something?
This is like the most visually stunning pod that's ever been done.
Thank you, and a shout out to my unbelievable team, JonMichael and Tom. We'll put their handles up here.
Yeah, they really are great. It's like, wow.
Yeah, we do a lot for the video, but I know he's
Oh, look who has the last laugh. Oh, upside down.
So cute, dude.
Yes, give it to me.
Earn points by paying rent now when you go to joinbuilt.com/TYSO. That's JOINBILT.com/TYSO. Make sure to use our URL so they know we sent you. Joinbuilt.com/TYSO to start earning points with your rent payments today. You know, what I love about this podcast is Alvin has been trained that I only get the best guests. Mm-hmm. So he just trusts that no matter who's sitting on that chair, he's going to love them.
That's good. Where'd you get this guy? Did you find him?
Excuse me. Yeah, he was a rescue. I got him in the valley.
Right. I just don't know because like the rescues, if I got a rescue, it would be the worst. I know it. We had a dog for 10 years.
Oh, let me check levels.
Okay.
Pardon me. And I'm sorry to my listeners for interrupting the flow.
No, it's all right. The flow is.
You don't need your headphones on. If you
I don't like to wear them.
But let's bring this just the microphone
a little closer.
And also let's not block the face as much.
Okay, so more like this. Oh,
yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
Charlie Delta Echo Foxtrot Hotel Indigo Romeo Dually. I've got a big old dually out back. It's my dad's dually. I'm borrowing it him so I can do some log pulling in Saskatchewan with my boy Brian and his other friend Brian, who's also named Brian.
I can't tell if you're telling me a story or if you're doing one of those
doing mic check. There's no story.
But sometimes people, the barber broke bow, but being
Yeah.
badoo, like those things.
If you want to make a sound guy laugh, just do this. Toot, toot, yep, yep, toot, yep, toot, toot. That's all they ever do is toot, toot, yep, check.
If you're
check.
a sound guy in the comments and you laughed, let us know.
They're probably like this. This is a sound guy laughing.
No, sound guys laugh.
I mean, not the old ones. Old ones are like,
I don't know if it's the projects you've been working on,
yeah.
but
I'm talking about sound guys like in a music context, not sound guys on set.
gotcha.
The sound guys on set, they're like, this is a sound guy on set. when we're on set,
Yeah.
just trying to hold that. Boom.
Superstore must have had a lot of sound guys just trying to hold it in.
The boom shake is the greatest compliment in acting sports is the boom shake.
So tell me about your pessimism with rescuing dogs.
Oh, I just don't know how people get really nice ones. Because I had a really mean dog for about 10 years. She was wonderful, but she was a rescue technically, I guess. And we got her from
Who rescued whom?
She rescued us
Right.
from boredom, for sure. But you know what I mean? It's like sometimes you don't know what you're going to get. With a small dog, it's different because these dogs can have, there's an incidence for error that's smaller for them. With a big dog,
Incidents for error. That sounds like a good name for a special.
yeah, that would be a good
Johnny
name for a
Pepper did
special.
incidents for error.
I think of a name for a special every day, and it's like I'm never going to use any of them. But incidents for error would be a good one. You know what I mean? Like a smaller dog. If that dog bit me, I'd be like, nah, that sucks, but it'd be okay. I wouldn't like it, but it'll be
I guess
fine.
compared to a very large dog, sure.
Yeah.
But a dog like even this size that bites, they could draw blood.
It's
It'd
true.
be horrible.
But also, small dogs don't scare people, and big dogs, when people get scared of dogs, that makes the dog more scared of the person. It's like this feedback mechanism, and our dog was really big.
Good name for a special.
Feedback mechanism? God damn.
And it opens up with,
Woo.
yeah.
The sound guy's like, not laughing.
Yeah, well, he's a music guy. So I would go to places all the time to look at rescues and would play with
all
them
the
or
time?
sit with them for years.
Oh, isn't that hard on your psyche though to be like interact with these dogs and be like, I gotta go, I gotta go.
That's a good question. So I thought of it like dating.
Yeah,
Where,
well,
like-
it's just hard on your psyche.
Yeah, but if I need a wife,
Yeah,
but if I was just doing it to like meet people and like get to know what it's
Right.
like, and I would sit with them, and some dogs I almost got. I think it's a combination of being ready and
Yeah.
also finding the animal. But I was ready for a dog, and I
Yeah.
was looking. And long story, I've told it before, so I don't want to do it now, just because that's how podcasting
Right.
works. But
that dog made the funniest face.
I went to the place I've been to before, and I saw him, and I'm like, let me just sit with him for a little. And I sat with him, and he sat with me
Yeah.
like this for like 20 minutes.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay. And I took him
This
for a
is
walk,
it.
and he didn't know how to be on a leash. He didn't know how to walk.
Yeah.
He was scared of the outside. He didn't know how to go up and down steps.
Wow. It's a love story.
And now he's, let's just say he goes up and down steps, if you know what I mean.
That's a new character I want to do. Is the guy who says, "Let's just say" too many times about everything.
That's parallel thought. I get it, but I have a guy that
You do?
does he. It's not specifically.
Okay.
Let's just say it's part of his tool belt, but he doesn't know how puns work.
Okay.
But he knows people like them, and he knows the cadence. So let's just say the dog lives with me, if you know what I mean.
Right. And so, oh wait, you guys have sex? That's what you mean?
No, how do I?
Because
Put
isn't
this?
let's just say always means. Let's just say
Correct.
she cleans up the house extra good.
Yeah,
Let's just say
but that's
that
on you to infer from that.
it is, but isn't that sort of like a thing when you say let's just say you're
Let's just
saying
say
let's just
I'm,
say
being literal.
I can't say what I mean because I can't say it, but let's just say, how about this? Here, I got it for you. Let's just say she likes to have sex with me. And that would be like,
I love it.
there you go.
I love it, and I think that would be great for feedback loop.
Yeah, feedback loop. And it's the unwatchable 10-minute special. Oh, you want to get in there?
Come on, how amazing is that?
It's the greatest. I want to have my goal is in the next 5 years to have at least 5 dogs.
You have one now.
One now. But
You
this
have
is
a 5-month-old golden.
yeah, but she's gonna be the pack leader because she's gonna be super trained and good. Then you get a bunch of riffraff in there.
Yeah, let's
And
just say
she's
the
like-
golden's going to be the oldest.
Just say she's
of
gonna be
the
the
dogs?
oldest.
Really 5.
5, I think. Maybe I'll be okay with 3 though. 5's a lot.
I'm so sorry. You don't have kids, do you?
No,
Are you going to?
I don't think so. Yeah. You have kids?
I don't talk about my personal life on here too much.
So you don't. Hey, get. Oh my God, she's so cute. Adorable.
Please.
What is she, 2?
Blur that.
Right? Blur Baby. Oh man, yeah, Blur Baby. I have always liked their music. Their latest album is a little bit avant-garde from my personal taste. I'm more of a fan of like a.
Isn't that a term? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's
Avant-garde. That's sword fighting.
yeah, that's where it comes from because it was back in the day when sword fighting was like a normal thing in the streets of Germany, and when people started doing crazy shit with their swords, then I'd be like, that's kind of avant. I don't know. I lost it.
Did you?
I think I did. You know, I didn't lose it, but I didn't like it enough to keep it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know, because you're a professional. You know, sometimes when you got a bit, you got something you got a little something on the horn there, on the hoof.
Does that mean like tip of the tongue?
That's what I'm saying right now. I got something on the horn, and you're chewing on it a bit, and you're like, nah. You know what? I'm gonna bail because I'm better than that.
Gulp, gulp,
Interesting.
Gulp,
I get the idea of
bailers.
bailing. Not necessarily because I'm better than it. What I have learned to do is commit to the bit, do the bit, but when you realize it's not worth it,
Yeah.
finishing it just to finish it isn't worth it. So like if this isn't going anywhere,
Right.
I'm okay abandoning it.
So what should have I have done it?
Well, I could answer that by similar advice that I got from my friend and acting coach, David Sullivan. When you're doing an audition, a take, and you
You don't stop. You keep going.
keep going, unless
Yeah.
you know. But even then,
Right.
because there'll be sometimes you do a take and you're like, and you stop and you look back and you're like, no, I could have used that. That was good.
Yeah, I agree. I guess. Note taken.
Yeah, the avant-garde thing. I mean, I thought that was one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life. Germany, sword fighting.
You know what I was thinking about? I was thinking about because of Mark Twain, because he talks about sword fighting. He talks about how students used to sword fight like a normal thing to sword fight, and they'd wear all these pads and stuff. And like, a lot of times they get their ears cut off, and it was like a normal. They have like a surgeon on call.
A lot of people think Van Gogh sent his ear because a girl wouldn't talk to him, but the truth
Right.
is that he got it cut off from avant-garding.
Oh,
And he's like, what am I going to do with this? And he repurposed it.
So instead
That's
of
where you get the saying, repurposing my ear.
repurposing.
Yeah.
It's the purpose. And that's why they call them porpoises. They're different than dolphins
Mm-hmm.
because the porpoises don't have ears. They can't hear. They're sight based. Yep.
Well, do you want to get started with the pod?
I'm ready to go.
All right.
Lick
let's
me
do
in
it.
the mouth.
Theme music. Actually, let's go to commercials. Do you want to hear about my shows?
Yeah, what?
September 28th, I will be at the DC Improv. November 6th, I will be at the Addison Dallas Improv. November 7th, the Houston Improv. November 8th, I will be in Austin, Texas for 2 shows at Creek in the Cave. And Seattle, we reschedule those shows. November 15th and 16th, I will be at Laughs Comedy Club in Seattle. If you want to come, the link is in the description or go to punchup.live/Rick Glassman.
And we're back.
Yeah, so those were some commercials.
Great. That's great. You have commercials. I love that.
Yeah.
That's cool that, it's like a thing that sustains it. It's like it floats itself.
I make $30,000 an episode on average now.
Fuck yes.
Sometimes 40,000.
No way.
Not at all. No, of course
I
not.
mean, you could be telling the truth. There's people who do, right?
Yeah.
Who does? Who makes? I don't know.
Well, I know what people make, and
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not supposed to say.
I don't know anything.
But let's just say their podcast rhymes with blurgity smorg.
I honestly don't know what that is.
Let's just say.
I really don't.
Okay.
The things I don't know could fill a shoe. A huge shoe the size of a small state like Delaware.
Oh,
Delaware was actually, that's the original shoe state.
I didn't know that. I thought
Yeah.
it was Florida.
No, Florida was the show me state, but they didn't know that Missouri was also doing that.
Interesting that it's Missouri.
Yeah,
Because I thought it was St. Louis, which is in Missouri, but I didn't realize it was the state.
it's a split state.
Is St. Louis is in Missouri, right?
St. Louis, Mo, St. Louis, Kansas. Kansas City.
Is St. Louis a city in 2 states? There's no way.
It's a city in 2 states. It's a tale of 2 cities.
I was going to say that sounded like a Shakespeare play.
Yeah. I haven't read that one, though.
Really? St. Louis is a city in 2 states?
I think it is. Kansas City is for sure. Kansas City, Mo, Kansas City, Kansas.
Well, I know there's the Minneapolis twin cities.
Yeah, but they're both in Minnesota. I'm from Minnesota, so I know about
I thought you were from
that.
Canada.
No, I'm from
First
Minnesota.
base.
First base? No, I'm from Minnesota, but it's close enough.
My dad and my brother's brilliant. He's got a photographic memory. He knows everything about everything. And I always struggled with, lots of things, I guess, but cities and states and places.
Right.
I still probably can't name all 50 states.
You know what's crazy is the other day we're talking about Minnesota because that's where I'm from. My wife and I have been together for a very long time, and she can't pick out Minnesota on the map.
No.
It took her 3 tries, and I'm not saying this like she's not stupid. She's definitely not, but she's like that. She doesn't know. She knows like 4 states. The rest are just you know what I mean?
But
to me, I'm the opposite.
Where
I know
does she shine?
all the states. She knows California. She knows Florida. She knows maybe, or I don't even know, Nevada. She knows Nevada. Hawaii doesn't count because it's obviously Hawaii. Alaska doesn't count because it's obviously Alaska. But she knows she knows Texas, I think. But she couldn't find Minnesota, and I was like, "You're joking right now." And she touched Wisconsin, and then she touched Michigan. When I was like, "It's not that one," and I just couldn't believe it. But there's people out. You know what I mean? When you meet someone you've known for like a very, very long time, about something they don't know, but you can't I don't think this person's dumb at all. It's more like, how does your brain work in a way that it does not know this? Because
I don't know if I could.
I can't unknow. There's certain things I feel like I cannot unknow.
I don't know.
It drives me crazy.
I could, if I got 5 guesses, I could find Minnesota. But
damn, man.
I don't know. I'm telling you, man.
See, I want to know what's something like that for me. I want to find a thing that where you are looking to me like, how do you not know this? And I'm like, I don't know. I just don't know what that thing is, you know? I wonder what that would be.
Are you good with finding change on the ground? Yeah, I would have guessed that. I think that's where it would have been my first guess, but I wouldn't have been confident.
Yeah, but even then, it's still just like, it's just a different thing because it's such useless information. Why do you need to know where the states? You don't need to know that. Nobody needs to know that, especially not now. Maybe not even 10 years ago, you didn't even know that shit.
10 years ago, you needed to know it.
You need to know the states. You need to know the states 10 years ago.
Dude, I'm obsessed with him.
You're right. He's got a good face too. He's got that face. It's sort of like he's got a little smirk to it where, I don't know, not all dogs have a face.
He's half pug and he's got a little bit of an underbite.
That's what it is. That's what it is. It's the underbite. Underbite always elicits sass.
He also loves this shirt. Here, look.
And you can pick up this shirt at Glassman.com/store. What a good salesman.
Oh my goodness.
I love a hard sale. I love a soft sale. I love all sales. You know what I mean? Do you like getting sold?
It's an interesting question.
You know what I mean? Like when someone's like,
sometimes if it's transparent, that's what's happening. Like sometimes I'll be on the fence about something and I'll say, I would like you to sell me on this.
Oh, you have to say it out right. I don't want to have to say it. I want to have a thing where it's like consent is consent is implied. You know what I mean? I
don't want to be sold unless I want to be sold.
Well, okay. But don't you always? I always want to be sold.
Interesting.
I always want to be sold by someone who's good at I remember years, like when I was a young boy being.
I mean, how old are you now?
I'm much older boy. I'm an elder boy.
Okay.
But being like a kid and being at like a car dealership / boat dealership with my dad, and the guy who ran the place had this really gruff smoker's voice, kind of like this. He was a big guy, like a big, kind of guy who's like, people are always out of his way because he's a big old guy. Not just like fat, but like fucking big guy. And he's trying to sell my dad on a boat. My dad's not going to buy a boat. He would never ever use a boat. But he's like, this boat, you could pick up this entire boat with that cleat on the boat. And I remember hearing that thinking like, wow, that's something you could repeat to your friends after you buy that boat. Like, yeah, you got that the Tamanashi boat, but I got this one over here. This is a This is Evinrude, and you can pick this entire boat up with this cleat.
Yeah, that is cool.
Like, when they tell you stuff, because you don't know shit about the boat, but when you buy it, you want to tell your friends about the boat. And so they give you a bunch of facts. They're like, so that's, that's a 265 dually clacker. They don't make those anymore. See that? Didn't move. And you show it to your friends.
Yeah. It sounds like you like selling points, which is different than being sold.
Well, that's the act of the sale. Hearing those words to me is like a massage. Like,
Okay.
oh yeah, okay.
I understand.
Like, well, let me get my wallet out.
To me, being sold, unless we're both on the same page, feels a little manipulative.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I don't like that.
See, I like being manipulated when it is a thing where it's sort of like when you go into a car dealership, you are walking through the door, you're consenting to being like, I'm going to be told things by a person who his whole goal is to sell me this thing that's here.
I think a true salesman, their goal isn't to sell you a product, but it is to meet a need. And I want to know the difference between that. And if I trust this person is trying to meet my need, that means we're on the same page, then I'm open to being sold. It's like asking a friend to sell you on something.
You're right.
Usually am.
I agree. I agree with that. I guess I would like to go in with a need and have that need met in a way that is not just like transactional.
Could you throw me that magic mind for a second? I want to show you something. Okay. The reason I talk about these isn't because I'm making money on pressing them. In fact, this episode isn't even sponsored by Magic Mind. The truth is, I use them, I love them, and they help me. I haven't drank coffee since last year, and there's a reason.
What?
I did it for a cleanse, and I just stayed away. I still drink black tea. I'm not against caffeine.
Okay.
I just don't need the coffee anymore.
Yeah.
And what I have found is the reasons I stopped drinking coffee are the antithesis of why I like Magic Mind. Not only does it give me a pick-me-up, it doesn't make me crash, and I also feel, slightly better. It doesn't feel like a big drug to me, and I don't have that come down like I'm talking about. It just makes me feel better. So when a guest comes on and they're maybe needing a little bit of energy, I'm not trying to sell them on a product. I'm trying to make their energy better. That's why I like Magic Mind. Give it a try. Whoa, look how big your dick just got.
Wow, I can't even fit it in the bottle.
You could have before.
Is that passion fruit I taste? I think it is. See, if you had a nice smoker's voice, I really would have listened to that then.
Sure. But that's the thing. If you know that like every time I sell a product, I get a commission or something, that doesn't mean I don't believe in the product.
Right.
But for me, there's some hesitation between what is your motivation? Is your motivation making money, which is always going to be there, but is that prioritizing my needs? And that's a trust factor. And that's the difference between being a good salesman and being a sleazy salesman or woman.
Yeah. I totally agree. I just, I feel like we're, because of technology, there's less of the salesmanship going on now.
You're talking the old fashioned face-to-face, B2C.
Yeah. Where someone's making you feel good about the thing. And now it's just, you have to do all the work. You got to find the thing. You got to decide if this is the thing.
Yeah.
When before you might feel good about a thing when it's, let's just say it's a lighting fixture, but you feel good about it because the person who sold it to you is like, oh, you're a professional. You like look at my room. Okay, you know what? I think this would be good here, and you trust them. And the way they describe it, you're like, oh yeah, you're right. Actually, that does bring out the blue in the pan I keep on the floor near the kitchen.
Yes,
and you kind of go with that, and it makes you feel good about the thing. Where now you have to do all the work.
That's why I'm a believer in small business. I really am. I'm still, and I still shop on Amazon. I definitely still prioritize convenience from here and there. But like, if there's something, when I bought this television,
great TV.
What's that?
It's great.
Thank you.
It's big.
Went to Best Buy. The reason I went to Best Buy is because I checked all the stuff. I read all the things.
Yeah.
I want to see in person, and I wanted to ask a professional. I was ready to spend a little bit more to buy it from that store.
Yeah.
They were not helpful.
Oh.
They did not know more than me.
Yeah, that's the case now because they can't afford to hire people who do.
So I left, but I still, and not that obviously Best Buy isn't small business, but at a certain point, we even have to acknowledge brick and mortar, like just actual stores.
Yeah.
Or Amazon and everything else. But you know who I like now when I order online? Free plug, B&H Photo.
Yeah, B&H also, you get that tax write-off if you do it right.
You get a tax write-off on anything you buy if you could write the... What do you mean?
There's a special loophole B&H offers.
Ooh.
It's kind of a little shady, actually, but I've done it.
Interesting. Well, what is it?
It's something where they will issue a one-time use credit card because you get to take advantage of, I don't know what it is, like New York State, some sort of bullshit with tax. You can save like $150 if you're buying like a computer or like something that costs $2,000. You save a bunch of money, but you have to open up a line of credit that they run. So I'm pretty sure it's run by Hasidic Jews.
Yeah, because I
They're
know
closed
this.
on Saturdays.
Full Friday nights through Saturdays.
Right.
Because coincidentally, when I shop for them, I think I tend to want to buy on Fridays, and I get to the cart, and they're like, "We're closed for Sabbath."
Isn't that crazy how they have the digital Sabbath? You think they'd have some, what do they call them, Sabbath Goy or something like that?
I don't think you
You
can
heard
say that.
You can't say that?
We're going to leave it in just so people could learn.
You can't say that?
That's like saying,
Oh. See, I think we found out what I don't know about. I don't know what you can't say.
well, you know where Minnesota is.
Yeah. I mean, thank God.
You ready to start the pod, by the way?
I'm ready to start. Let me just turn my phone off real quick.
Sure. Theme music.
Scoot doo.
Okay. Is it off? Yeah, it's off. Okay. I got it on an airplane. I'll put it on an airplane.
Instead of Do Not Disturb?
Yeah, I don't like Do Not Disturb. You know why? Do Not Disturb? I don't want to even talk about. Sometimes I get so mad at technology now.
It sounds like you are disturbed by it.
Yes, because
Tell me.
because what it does is it just makes everything like you have to check to see if you got anything,
Well, yeah, it's not disturbing you.
but it doesn't disturb me anyways because I have to do that anyways to check to see if I got anything because I don't have my phone doesn't vibrate, hasn't vibrated in like 7-8 years.
You've had that phone for a while, huh?
Not this one, but just any phone I have.
Okay.
I have had this for a little while actually. I don't know. I just what also kills me is with the way it syncs up with your computer. Like my computer's not my phone. Don't make them. Oh, so you do this on your phone? How about your computer too? It's like no, that's the computer.
You could disturb me over there, but don't disturb me over here. That
Yeah.
to me, I don't understand why you would want to be disturbed there, but not here.
I don't want the computer. I want no alerts. I want nothing, no alerts at all. But stuff pops up now on my computer. It's like that's just not. You're not my phone. You're my computer.
I do get that.
You're my workstation. You're not like my buddy.
Yeah. I'm sure there's ways of turning things off on certain
Yeah,
things.
I'm
I've
sure
never
there
looked because I
is.
didn't care enough, but I have thought, I have never cheated in my life. I think I had a nightmare once.
Like your taxes or something like that.
I mean, like in a relationship.
Oh, God, okay, yeah.
I've had a nightmare once where somebody kissed me and I didn't kiss them when I was in a relationship years and
Yeah.
years ago. And
You woke up and you were like,
I had to confess it. And I felt horrible.
what
and
would
like
happen when you confessed?
nothing. I
Right.
don't remember enough. I did learn that like I was young, like I don't remember, early 20s. And it was like, or maybe mid. It was like, you don't need to tell your partner that, it won't make them feel good. Like that was before I realized that kind of stuff.
That's like the old classic sitcom trope is the husband has a dream and the wife is all like, he had a dream that he was riding Mona's back in a forest and there were bears licking his butt. And she tells her friend, oh, bears licking his butt. You know what I mean? It's like a King of Queens type
Sure.
thing.
And then they go looking, try to investigate with this thing. They meet with a fortune teller. And it turns out the real problem wasn't the dream, but it was her reaction to it. But at the same time, he realized what the dream actually meant. And the problem was he thought that he was the bear and she was licking his butt as if he's gross and because she's such a beauty queen.
Right.
And it brought them closer together.
Exactly. That's it.
But I bring this up because I don't have it in me. Like, not only do I not want, like, I'll have to tell, I have to be honest. I have to confess.
Yeah, it's a burden. It's an incredible burden.
However, there are things that will come up on my computer that were like, I didn't realize this would come up on my, like, it's got to be harder to cheat now. Especially if you share your computer with your partner
God, yeah.
or something. Shows like, even like if I'll look at porn on my phone, and which I'll admit to you, I've done.
Yeah.
There,
okay.
I said it. I've looked
You
at porn
said
on my phone. And then I got a new computer, and then it showed in my web browser some porn that I saw like
Right.
weeks before.
It's like a thing where it's just the computer. Oh, didn't you want to know this? Didn't you want to know that you looked at porn a month ago? Hey, I want to let you know this. It's like, no, I don't want to know that.
I'm trying to forget it.
Because the technology doesn't know what you don't want to know because it's not a human.
There's this new, come here, Bible.
New app? New life?
It's going to be a new software that's powered by AI. That it's going to connect. Apple's already been talking about it for the next launch. You know about this already?
No, I don't.
So it's going to be connecting everything. The way kind of now, like if you have an iPhone audience.
Yeah, when you go to your computer.
If you buy a plane ticket, it could show up in your iCal.
Right.
And you could choose to approve or not. And you could text messages are now in your web browser and vice versa.
Right.
And it's going to be connecting all these things with pictures, texts, emails, everything, conglomerate. So you could, not only could it make suggestions to you, but you could search things. What was that hat that somebody was wearing somewhere? It was hot. Ugh. And it'll look through, okay, found this picture at this time, emails, which is an amazing tool if it's all off network. And
it's not.
It's why I don't have, I want to get cameras in my place to watch my dog, but I don't want to have cameras off of a LAN. So I don't do it. I don't want people to be able to hack in and see this stuff. It's just really scary.
Everything is, it's already, I think it's over. Like the whole game of security, personal security, it's gone. Like there's a new hack every week and every hack is bigger.
They're talking about comedians.
No, we're talking about, yeah, well, that's been over. That's long since been over, I think.
Ever since Vine.
Ever since Vine, the hacks, it's like, that's the new weeds of the world.
But go on.
Yeah, well.
Listen up, renters. You ever feel like you're stuck in a loop of rent payments? Well, that's where Built Rewards comes in. Built is breaking ground as a neighborhood rewards program that hooks you up with points on your rent. Every month, pay your rent and watch the Built points roll in. Use points to jet off on a dream vacation. Put your points towards a flight or a hotel stay with 500 plus airlines and 700,000 plus hotels and properties. You can also use your points to book fitness studio classes, redeem them towards a future rent payment. They're designed to meet your lifestyle. Pay rent hassle-free through the Built Rewards app. Your rent game just got a major upgrade. Built points have been consistently ranked the highest value point currency by the Points Guy and Bankrate. Earn points by paying rent now when you go to joinbuilt.com/TYSO. That's JOINBILT.com/TYSO. Make sure to use our URL so they know we sent you. Joinbuilt.com/TYSO to start earning points with your rent payments today. For real, even if you're not going to do it, just go to that website. I think it makes us look good, right? Okay.
Yeah, I think the idea of having any type of actual real privacy, unless you want to be completely and totally disconnected from technology, you can't have it. So to try to have it is almost like, it's like swimming upstream.
Well, you said you blurred your house on Google Maps.
I did. And that took a lot of effort.
I drive by your street and all the houses are just blurred. It's like, no, that's a real image.
It is. Yeah, yes. I have my house painted with a special paint called Blur. It looks really cool. It looks, you can't see it. It makes your eyes defocus. It's like a special light diffusion.
Sure.
Technology.
Like the type of capes that people wear that can make you invisible.
That's a thing?
In movies, where it's science-based, not magical,
like
where
it
reflects the light back.
It's like the Predator.
Yes.
That's just technical camo, right? Because it has cameras that shoot the image that's in front of it, behind it.
Oh, I don't know about
micro
that part.
screen. That's all it is. It's just like living camo. It's like a chameleon. Like a chameleon touches the thing and somehow it knows what it's on and it tells its body to be that color.
I didn't acknowledge yet. I'm changing the subject, but while we're on sci-fi, I watched with my now ex, but we loved Fallout.
Cool.
Loved.
It's good.
I didn't know you were in
fun.
it.
That's fun to see something and not know, right?
What's that?
Was it fun to see something and not know anything about it going into it?
Yeah, I didn't know you. I knew a little bit. I knew of the game and and the post-apocalyptic kind of atmosphere that it exists in.
But you hadn't played the game.
If I did, I don't remember. Okay. So no, not really. Yeah. But I just more so meant when a friend just pops on screen on something that you don't know he was going to be in, he or she's going to be in. Right. And it also being something that is awesome.
Yeah, I was very pleasantly not surprised, but I just didn't know what it was going to be like until I saw it, and I was like, wow, it's pretty cool.
Did you not get all the scripts? Is that why?
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
That was so secretive. I saw some stuff that I needed to see, but also I couldn't watch all the episodes beforehand either, before the premiere. So I only think I got to see half the episodes before it premiered.
That's so interesting that you didn't get to know. I had a girl I was dating for a while who was in a fair amount of like, I'm being hesitant. I'm not saying who it is. I guess it doesn't matter.
Just say she's an actress?
But been in a lot of the Marvel stuff.
Right. Oh, they're
And-
super secretive.
And like significant like character. And got just the pages that she's in.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's like it feels almost abusive because
Well,
it's like a thing where
you've lived a good life.
yeah, I mean, actors always get. I think actors like being abused, honestly, because I don't know what else is there to do.
I don't share in that. I know that you're being kind of silly.
Kind of, but not really. It's like, do you get you? I don't know. I kind of like being abused a little bit. I do. As far as not being an actor, I like being like
Could you give examples of abuse that you've enjoyed?
like asked to do things repeatedly without explanation, or put in extreme environments, having to wear stuff that's really uncomfortable, or basically just being like
Well, that's the
just really
job.
having to work really hard for not much. What do you call it? Reward, or like a thing where
You like that? You like limiting your reward?
yeah, I like it where it's not easy, like where it's like you have to just really get your ass kicked for something. I feel like it's more rewarding to have something be super difficult and have it to be like almost emotionally abusive in a way. Like people talk about hit. Yeah, go ahead.
I understand that with a want to be challenged,
Yeah.
but like, I don't want to have to. I remember I'm pretty sensitive to I'm a sensitive guy.
Yeah,
And like,
you are sensitive.
That includes sounds and like textures and
Me too.
And I remember on a show I was on I don't remember if it was the first or second season. My most recent show I was on, it's an ABC sitcom, and they had me wear this sweater thing that just the combination, the mood I was in when I put it on, it just felt bad.
Didn't you have a fitting beforehand?
I didn't. You don't fit for everything now. The costume department was so great that they knew the character. They knew what I liked, and there were sometimes they would ask me to come in, or sometimes if it was something I haven't tried, they say, "Here's a couple of options."
Yeah.
This was kind of a special shirt, like for it was a story point.
Okay, that makes sense then.
And it needed to be not uncomfortable, but it needed to be this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I just, at first, like I put it on and it didn't hurt. It's hard to explain. It didn't hurt, but
I understand. It's
Yeah.
a sweater. It's like an HE sweater. It's super uncomfortable. Certain fabrics are just like. Then there's a reason the monks used to wear hair shirts, right? Because it's so uncomfortable. It's a penance. You're penalizing yourself by wearing the most uncomfortable garment possible to atone for your sins.
I guess, yeah.
So you were wearing a hair shirt, basically.
It was so distracting that like, and it also triggered me in a way, like it reminded me when things were tougher when I was a kid, like putting things on, I couldn't, like it was like I had to take stuff off and put it on, and I was also getting a little triggered from that, and it went from being uncomfortable to being and distracted to like I cried.
Wow.
I cried
like what kind of cry?
Like
a sad cry?
yeah, like my eyes are watering. I don't want to be crying.
Wow.
I wasn't like noises. It wasn't like noises.
Not like weeping.
It
wasn't like an injury. It was more like a deep sadness.
It was a discomfort.
Yeah.
Not a shame, but maybe.
It sounds very specific to you.
Yeah.
Did you tell them this is
So I
hurting you?
tried to not, and I realized, and I think this was a good thing. I realized my performance is going to suffer.
Oh yeah.
And if that's the case, it needs to be acknowledged.
Yeah.
My comfort there are things to suck it up. Like there are times that like you could hurt yourself and your ankle or your cut or whatever. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
it hurts, handle it, get the scene done, use it, figure it out.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like, I'm uncomfortable, I need help. It was
like, I
was
can't do my
emotionally
job.
triggered to something. And yeah, and I had to acknowledge it. I had to, and I told my scene partner first. She was very nice. And
I could see that going. I thought you were about to say something else.
and she called me
Oh.
and bleep it. And
Oh, that's what that word means. Oh, okay.
but it was so distracting, and they I don't remember if they got me a new one or not, but there was something about acknowledging it, and I talked to the director. I didn't want people to know this.
Yeah.
We got it quickly, and I asked if I could add in my discomfort to this scene.
Oh.
Because it was something that I was doing that wasn't, it was something that there was a sense of urgency of something.
That's smart.
And I made a character choice that was really an actor, like it was a choice for me.
Yeah.
And there was something about the permission to be able to have the posture, like it's like if you had a contacts and like, you could do it. I
Yeah.
could leave the contacts in, but if they're uncomfortable, I can't help myself from blinking. Like I can't help myself from.
Blinking's the worst. Did you know that? They edit out blinking.
I've heard that. I don't know if that's true.
It's true.
Well, anyway, I meant it more as an analogy of like,
I know what you're saying. Yeah, that sounds terrible. I think you read that Michael Caine acting book. It's really small. It's very thin.
I do know when he talks about how you're not supposed to blink and you're supposed to look strong camera side eye.
But he also talks about how if you're doing a stunt that hasn't been rehearsed before and they want you to do it, he's like, you do the stunt. You show me the stunt, then I'll do the stunt.
Oh, sure.
He's all about
You
like,
taste it first.
he's all about like, if they want you to do something you're not comfortable with, you shouldn't do it unless, first thing, it's a safety thing. There's all these things. It's all about being an advocate for yourself.
Yeah.
A lot of actors are just not. So many actors have been so abused through their lives.
I've thought about
they can't
this
advocate for
compared
themselves.
to like stories I've heard women talk about things that might seem like
Oh my
a small
God.
thing, but they're
Yeah,
scared to
very
say
similar.
no in a situation.
Yeah, it's so similar to that because you have all these people around you. There's like some surly union guy who is pissed because we're in golden time, or maybe he's actually happy about golden time. But you know what I mean? Like there's
Yeah.
always someone who doesn't give a fuck about what you're doing, and they want to go to lunch 2 hours ago, and you have to be like, I can't do that. It's like, well, why can't you dive under the boat and pick up the ring and come back up and say, I found the ring, Jacob? It's like, well, because we're in an open waterway here. You guys haven't closed us off. It's like, can you just do it? Because we really got to get this shot. It's like, I don't feel comfortable swimming by the propeller because, it's on. It's like, we have to have it on to keep the boat in the channel. We have safety divers. They're right there. They're right there. It's like, I don't want to do that because I might get, might get killed. So it's like,
I love when people advocate for themselves. I think it's attractive. I think it's necessary. And I think it conditions other people to do it.
I've gotten to be a bastard about it sometimes.
But you said you like getting punished.
I do, but I like getting punished by the director, not by like, what I don't like is when like, there was a stunt guy who kept calling me buddy. And I was like, do you know what my name is? Like, I was like, whatever his name was, like, David, you know what my name is? He's like, yes. I was like, call me my name. Stop calling me Bud.
Huh.
Or like, stuff like that. It's so like casual and dismissive. Don't do that.
You like very specific kind of punishment, but they got to know your name.
Well, I like it to be, I'm trying to, you know what? I don't know exactly. I guess I like it to be, sort of, you know how David Fincher works?
I do. You saying with all the takes and the way.
Stuff like that. That's what I'm interested in. I want to be beaten down. And part of me able to be beaten down is you can't have riffraff from the sides giving you guff about stuff. It's like people got to be on their game so you can be on yours. So if you've got somebody who's like, just like not like dialed in, then it makes it really hard to stay focused.
So you want to be you want your coal to turn into a diamond. You want it to be with purpose.
Yeah, I want with purpose, not just like I don't know, not just being the factory. But it's different though, because sometimes I think TV's a factory and movies aren't a factory. Movies are more of like a But you know, it kind of goes both ways. Everything's everything.
Everything's everything.
Everything's everything. Who said that? Donny Hathaway.
I don't remember who it was, but somebody does have everything's copy. I keep forgetting what her name is.
Everything's copy.
Yeah, like whatever it is, you could use it in something. So have at least a perspective of like, well, this is inspiration, a story, a lesson, something.
Donny Hathaway did say everything is everything.
Did she?
He did. Donny, 1975.
Wait, Donny Hathaway?
Yeah, he's a soul singer from Chicago. He wrote that song.
Yes. What's the...
Everything is everything.
No. What's the Donny Hathaway song I know? What's the Donny Hathaway song I know? Soon Apple will be able to do that.
He's got a bunch of... What's the big one?
Yeah, there's a big one. A Song for You, maybe.
Here is all of your favorite Jason Bateman movies from 1996.
No.
Did you say, what's a good car to buy that's used in Toluca Lake?
That you could pick up by the, what did you call it? The boat?
By the scrote? Or pick up by the cleat.
The cleat.
Oh,
I
love
feel
that.
like maybe it was assumed, but I want to close off the story with the sweater real quick.
Yeah.
Once I found out that I could basically blink in scene.
And could use it.
Yeah, I was okay. I was okay with the discomfort.
You know what they call that, right?
What?
It's a gift.
Sure.
It's a gift.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to make it yours with some character analysis.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You have a gift.
Because being uncomfortable, I don't think, like you said, there's a difference between being uncomfortable and not feeling safe, or your performance will suffer.
Right.
Because being uncomfortable could be a great place to live for getting the performance. But if you don't feel safe, or if you feel it's going to affect the performance, then you have to
you have
collaborate.
to feel safe enough to feel uncomfortable.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
That ain't just acting, baby.
No, yeah, you got to be safe enough to be vulnerable. Otherwise, you're just in a constant state of like reacting. You know, you're always just reacting to stuff, and you can't like be loose and just let it out and be a big pile of shit, like failure, big nasty, bad, terrible thing.
Oh, you're turning it into a real negative thing, but yeah,
I think negative's positive. What if I said that? What if I said that, huh? What if I said that? What do you think about when people do this? You ever see people do this when they're acting? You know what I'm talking about? Where it's like...
It's the whelp physicality. Well,
I was going to... You're calling in the people to pick up my car? Well, yeah. I can't stand it.
You don't like indicating. That's indicating frustration.
Oh, it's the worst.
That's what you're doing.
But sometimes you see it in like a high-level production. You're like... Ooh, why are they doing this?
Sure, of course.
Or what about this? You ever notice this?
No.
I'm talking to you. We're in a scene together, right? Madam President, there's been an issue with the Joint Chiefs. They have found a giant worm that's capable of pretending to be a human. You don't see an actor doing that?
I think I was captivated. I loved it. I thought it was a character choice.
Oh, it's not.
I don't know if I've recognized this.
You start looking for it.
Denzel does this sometimes.
He does it when Denzel was like the fucking, what do you call the thing which all things are based, like is it the magnum opus? Is it the lodestone? Like Denzel is perfection. Denzel can fail.
You're saying people do this because they saw Denzel do it?
No, they're doing this because they're nervous, because they don't know their lines, because they're not in the moment.
I haven't noticed that. It's got to be
you don't
a
see
medium or wider.
Yeah, you'll see it. Sometimes in Cowboy, you'll see it. You'll see someone going like this, and it's like such a tell. It's like a tell.
I like watching background actors indicate and be big. It turns me on,
dude. I fucking love it so much. Sometimes you also know you're watching something that's not that good. If you're like, well, let's check out what background's going on.
I'll look at background all the time, even if something's good. I make a point. I did it for years.
Oh my God, I love it when a background actor goes like, how's your coffee, sir? They look in the camera real quick.
I see sometimes I look at cameras.
Here's your Americano with a little bit of ice.
That's not background. That's someone with lines.
Featured. That's
a co-star.
How about this? This is the best. You ever notice this? Because they won't let them talk because they're talking. They got to pay them more. It's like, don't fucking talk.
There are times where like you could tell like they weren't allowed to say anything. Watching people when they have drinks in a restaurant or a bar, there are so many cheers.
Oh, so many
people are always clinking because they don't know what to do.
Look,
and they're always saying yes or no. That's a good idea for a show. What about a show called Background? Or not called, but that's a theme. And you just have these story points, but it's really about following this it's a silent film with people it's a silent film, but then you put the silent film in the background and the foreground has people talking and
I would do this. I would say yes, my lord.
yeah, that's great.
Have you seen that show Extras that Ricky Gervais did?
Yeah.
I've only seen one episode, but it's really funny. It's funny, right?
Yeah.
It's really good. Should I watch it, the whole thing?
I haven't watched it in a while. I did this web series called The Sixth Lead.
Okay.
That was about me on a sitcom who didn't have that many lines, and it was everyone played themselves, and it's great. It's on my YouTube channel, The Sixth Lead. But somebody told me after it was like Extras, so I watch it because of that, and I'm like,
Okay.
oh, you're right,
It's
is.
similar.
It's basically Extras meet Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Right.
Curb inspired me. Extras hadn't because I never saw it, and I watched. I'm like, whoa. I should watch it again. I haven't seen it since that. It was really good.
I gotta watch it. There's so many shows I haven't watched I'd probably love. I don't know why.
Episodes is another one that I liked with.
That's the Matt Perry one?
No, it's not Matt Perry. It's Joe. What's Joey's name?
Chandler from Joey.
Chandler is
Friends
Matt
guy.
Perry.
Matt Perry.
Joey is
Joey Stevenson. Joey Sampson. Joey
the actor that plays. What's the actor
Joey
that
Smith.
plays Joey on Friends?
Chandler Bingham. Chandler Case. Matt Perry.
Joey
No,
Smith.
Joey. What's his name?
Matt LeBlanc,
Matt LeBlanc.
which is
He's a
I went to
good-looking
wine
guy.
with a Matt LeBlanc. I
Well, you had wine
really
with
liked.
him?
I really liked that show.
Episodes. It's
Yeah.
on Showtime, right?
I don't know.
You ever watch that show? What was it called that Lisa Kudrow did?
I just rewatched it again. The
I
comeback.
find that show to be almost hard to watch. It's too, something that's too accurate. Like I can't handle this. It's too
Brilliant.
It's like too spot on. You ever seen that show?
Entourage.
What's that movie? Rushmore. Remember the
I
beginning?
don't remember it with
my
Schwartzman.
God. Anytime I see someone doing this, I think about Rushmore.
It makes me think about how some people in
Follow
martial
me.
arts would train their fists to drop down a tree.
Yeah.
The comeback, there's 2 seasons. They're 10 years apart. And she's brilliant.
She's stunning, but it's
I had
like
no
too
idea how
good.
talented Lisa Kudrow was until that show,
Yeah.
which is interesting. You know, you don't know what somebody could do until they have the opportunity to do it. Lamorne Morris was just nominated for an Emmy for Fargo for something that he's never really been able to showcase before, that he's had in him this whole time. Really goes to show you the awards are not just about the talent, maybe more, not to take away from stuff,
Right.
but like, you know, what's his name? Breaking Bad.
Bing Crosby.
Thank you. Bing Crosby talked about how it was the role of a lifetime, and like
Right.
it was the role that gave him the opportunity to do that kind of acting.
Yeah, I guess that's what sort of like typecasting is, right? Is you either break out of it or you build it.
That's why they called it Breaking Bad, because he really wanted to get out of the Malcolm in the Middle kind of mentality.
Yeah.
And the
He's
Seinfeld.
so funny in Malcolm in the Middle, though. He's like stunningly funny in that show. I remember watching it thinking, oh, I want to do this. I want to do this so bad.
This being sitcom.
Being able to do a character that's that sort of broad and stupid, like just so...
I don't think you have a choice, to be honest.
I guess so. Actually, that's probably true. I can't help it sometimes with a lot of stuff where I don't know. There's like I don't know about any of this stuff at all, especially with acting. I know what I like, but a lot of times when people will say stuff about acting, it's like when stuff is good, I don't even know why it's good. Or is that an Emmy?
No, it's a HCA award.
What's that?
I don't remember what it's called. It used to be the Hollywood Critics Association, and now it's
That's fucking awesome.
something else.
For what?
A show I did call it As We See It.
What is it on?
Amazon Prime,
When did it come out?
2022.
I gotta see that. No, I'm not trying to take off.
It's great.
A play on the As We See It.
Yeah, it's. I'm really, really proud of it.
There's so much stuff.
What is the? Tell me how you got that job. How you got Fallout?
They asked me to do it.
Just a straight offer?
Yeah. I mean, it's not. I don't know. That's like
What were you in? 3 episodes? 4?
4. You counting?
Well, that's not a small
I guess.
thing. Like if it's like if somebody were to offer you just like, hey, do you want to do an episode of this thing?
Yeah.
But you were in half of the show.
Yeah.
So that's I don't know. That's like a. I feel like we're in a similar place where it's like we've done things, but like nobody's pounding on our doors, or at least few people. And like to get an offer like that on a show like that was a massive success. It's very cool.
Everything I've ever done in the last maybe 5 to 10 years that's been interesting and cool is in an offer. No, nothing
straight offer, or sometimes they say, hey, we'd like you to do this, but will you submit an audition?
Straight offer.
That's amazing.
I don't think I've auditioned for anything. I don't think I've successfully auditioned for anything since 2016, except not counting voiceover.
Sure.
But voiceover, that's a different world. But yeah, I don't know. I think that like the whole audition process is broken now, and anyone who disagrees is wrong.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, because how does that make sense? How does it make sense if the only work I'm getting...
Well, I have a theory.
What's that?
There's two ways, there's two main ways of getting jobs. Right. There's the audition route, and then they saw you in something, they offered it. Right. The more you do, and assuming it's good, the more you do, the more opportunity people saw you in stuff, know that you could walk and chew gum, and they want to offer it to you.
Right.
That doesn't cannibalize still this side, which is auditioning for either people that don't know you and or don't know if you could do this thing. So I think you being offered stuff is a testament to the work that you've done. And the audition side of it is, I mean, I don't know, the difference between 2016 through 2020 versus COVID times versus post-strike times. Those are three different genres where change stuff.
I think it's also a different thing that I only just recently realized. I should have said that when I said before, is that when you're auditioning people, you're looking at a certain class of actor, because certain roles you can't audition them because you need someone to pull enough weight where you're not going to discover somebody. It has to be someone who's super vetted. There's a couple of shows I've auditioned for that I really love. These shows, they're super.
But they gave them stars.
They haven't given them to stars. They give them to people because there's usually one person on this show, even though there's other producers casting all these people, but there's usually one person who's like, this is their show. You know what I mean? Like they're the person, they're the guy who kind of calls all the shots when it comes down to it, because they're like not even the showrunner. It's like the person who is like the creator of the thing. And if that person doesn't know you, if they haven't found you, if they don't know you from your work, an audition is not going to get you the part, because it's a part where they have to know who you are. So I think it's useless to audition for certain parts at a certain level, because they're literally not going to cast somebody who they don't know. So because they just won't. Like I wouldn't if I was them. I wouldn't cast someone if I don't know that person's work.
My last show, the ABC show I was on, they reached out to me.
Undateable?
No, it was called Not Dead Yet.
Okay.
They reached out to me because they saw me in the As We See It show, the Amazon show.
Right.
And they liked me in that.
Oh, hi.
But they didn't offer it to me. They wanted to, I still did an audition.
Yeah.
It was one audition with the producers, the creators, and the star.
It's basically like a foregone conclusion, or like sort of like what do you call it? A formality.
No, I thought it was mine to lose, but I didn't think it was a formality. I thought they wanted to see how I would be in this because it's a different character.
When people say it's yours to lose.
It's nothing
like putting the pressure on.
Well, we want you to have it, but you have to make sure you can.
So it's yours to lose. Go ahead, fuck it up, bitch.
Well, that's the difference between an audition and an offer.
Yeah.
They gave it to you.
Yes.
Were you psyched? Did you think that it had an opportunity to become as big as it was? Is?
I don't think about anything anymore. I've had so many things that were told to me, like directly told me by someone, like, just so you know, this is going to be big. I'm like, really?
What was something you did that they said that to?
The first show I ever did, and then like another movie, and then like another show. Like I've had 3 times people say, just with so much dripping with confidence, just so you know, this is going to be really big. Right. And the first time I'm like, oh yeah, oh really? Oh, they got to do a second season. And the second time, after we did not get a second season, so I'm like, oh really? Oh, that's cool.
Sure. And
the third time, it's like, bullshit. I'm like, no, I'm serious. You're going to make so much money off this. Like all his movies make so much money. Like, yeah, right. Bullshit. No, I'm serious. And guess who was right?
When I get even when we get another season of a show or something.
Yeah, I don't believe anything now.
Until production starts, I think maybe.
I don't think until the show comes out. I don't
Oh, well, I'm
believe
talking about getting
anything.
paid.
Oh yeah, getting paid. Well, getting paid is until the check clears, you didn't do anything. And even then, it's like they can just cut your. I hate being that way, but I think you have to be. Otherwise,
There's a healthy version of it.
Yeah,
Like when I found out I didn't get a third season of the show, I wanted it, but it was like I can't believe we got a second season.
Second season is incredible.
I know.
Second season's like landing on the moon or some shit.
Getting a job is I think of
insane.
it like every time you get a job, you hit the lottery.
I think of like the NFL. If you're playing in the NFL, you are so incredibly good at football. You're like stunningly great. You might be a second string kicker, but still you are so good at kicking a football.
That's the difference between sport and acting. You're not going to make it into the NFL or a professional team just because of your relationships with somebody. Where
That's
you
true.
can.
That's
you
true.
can get opportunities here.
Yeah. But when it comes down to it, if you don't swim after you've been giving a bunch of chances, I mean, obviously there's historic examples in the contrary, but
You're talking about in the acting field.
yeah, acting or just all throughout Hollywood, you kind of have to show up to some degree and make a product that makes money, that's sellable. Otherwise, you're gonna be like, we just can't use you anymore.
Yeah, but there are so many ways of making money that aren't about the art, and I don't say that in with judgment. There
Yeah.
are,
Well, it's not art. NFL is not art either, but it is still an entertainment product. The NFL is an entertainment product. It's not a sport.
But
Yeah.
but in order to be entertaining in a sport, and there's the talent and there's the personality, and those things
Yeah.
do go hand in hand, and more so personality is shining through because of social media. However, it's
my
the
eyes rolled
talent.
so much.
What's that?
My eyes just rolled so much
Because of what?
The idea, what you're saying is so true that like,
But that's what I'm saying about you not needing. I mean, talent is what, like talent as an actor versus talent as an entertainer, and those are very separate skill sets that overlap.
yeah,
But you could now. I mean, my podcast, for example, I thankfully have an audience that wants to watch this. If nobody wants to hire me elsewhere, I have this. So
Yeah.
there are ways of finding your own audience. But I'm talking about getting hired for something.
right.
And you could get hired for something because of your relationships with people. You
Absolutely.
can't in sport.
True, but I guess I would say that maybe part of the sport of acting is the relationships. That is
A huge
that
part
is
of it.
part of it. And so, but I also would say that the relationships that anytime I whistle, you ever whistle when you say an S?
Yeah.
I do that sometimes. And I'm like, fucking, I gotta get surgery or something like that.
What would your surgery be?
It makes my head vibrate. Like I don't care what anyone else thinks, but I can't stand it.
You're very Jewish for somebody who's not Jewish.
Oh, I also have ulcerative colitis. So
Welcome to the tribe.
70%. It's considered a Ashkenazi Jewish disease, I believe.
I don't know if you call it a disease. Is that a disease?
Ulcerative colitis? You're
Is
thinking
it
of
a disease?
IBS. IBS is a syndrome. Ulcerative colitis is irritable bowel disease. Yeah, it's a disease. But I don't have a large
That's
intestine.
inflammation in your intestines?
Of the large intestine of the colon, which I had removed. So
You had your colon removed?
yeah, like 20 years ago, over 20 years
You
ago.
have no colon?
No colon, no.
So how does that affect you?
I mean,
Is that why you're such a good actor?
maybe actually, I don't know. I was actually thinking about this the other day. I think it actually does affect me somewhat because I feel like if I have a bowel disease for a long enough time, you become so constantly aware of how you feel that the only time you get reprieve from it is playing a character.
Like when people who stutter except for when they sing.
Absolutely. That's such a good example. Oh my God.
I'm an analogy guy, dude.
That is really good.
Thank you.
Because I feel like that's why I want to work I want to
your
work
stomach feels
so
better.
badly that I would, I don't give a shit.
Also, something
about
I'm noticing.
anything.
Do you think the reason that you like salesmen's and car salesman energy so much is because you have issues with your colon? You like seeing other people who are so full of shit?
Woo!
We'll be right back.
I'm not full of shit though. It just it goes right through me. I would love to fill
That's
up
what I'm
with some
saying.
shit.
So you want to see other people.
Other people who are able to retain shit to be
that's your
AKA
porn.
full of it. Yeah. What was I saying before I started whistling my S? Something about the NFL analogy, right? But the thing is, I think you develop a good relationship with people over time when it's a thing where because you have consistently delivered and maybe you haven't been recognized, or maybe you haven't been like a big part of something, but you did something really good in a smaller part. Like the best example is like
Jonah Hill and 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Sure, or Steve, I can't remember. Steve Carell in Bruce Almighty, right?
Yeah.
Remember how funny that part was? It was so funny that Jim Carrey was like, fucking goddamn it. But it was like breathtakingly hilarious. And people were like, this guy's fucking good. And next, Steve Carell's, pow. But I think that's...
Well, I would give that more to Office, but...
Sure, also. But I'm saying that like in terms of personal relationships are formed by being a decent person and by being someone who delivers on the day, maybe not in the biggest capacity, but it's someone like, so later on when someone's in a bind, because a lot of times I'm the guy they bring in last minute because something's
You're
wrong.
the closer.
I'm the closer.
Johnny Pepperton,
I'm
the
I'm the
closer.
Joe Kelly of actors, basically. You know what I mean?
Sure, Bob.
Which is, I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but something like that. But that's like, it's a huge compliment, I feel like, in a way, because it means that you can, when they don't have time to deal with all the vetting, they get someone who they know that can do the thing.
Yeah.
And so, but that's because of relationships from previous things.
Well, that's also you proving yourself.
Yeah.
There are people that get jobs because family members, friends. I mean, numerous people have said to me, and I get it. They would rather work with somebody who they like.
Everybody feels that way.
More than somebody who's I mean, there's a standard deviation if you're super talented, but like, I think he wants to go out.
Oh, really? You can't just, I thought it was.
Well, he likes you too, but he's looking for.
He's like, please take me to a place where I can do businesses.
I got this.
Your business.
I got this.
Oh, child of God.
Grass patch on my balcony.
Yeah. Does he
I'm trying
love
to train
it?
He'll go and he'll sit on it, but he won't potty on it.
He will eventually. Is it grass or is it
grass?
How big is it? Like the size of this coffee table?
Probably 3x3.
That's
4x4.
That's big enough for this little boy.
Oh yeah, but he just goes and he sits on it, and he loves going out on it. I open the balcony. It's the one upstairs, not here, but he'll go out and he'll sit on it and he'll sunbathe on it.
You know what they love is artificial turf. They will piss on that stuff till you have to throw it away because it stinks of piss.
I don't want to get that. It just.
I know you don't want to, but I'm just saying they like it.
Maybe I should get one time artificial thing so he'll pee on it and then I'll get rid of it.
You could. He'll pee on it eventually. How long has it been available to piss?
5 days.
Oh, he's just getting started.
He peed on it the first day.
Right.
And he won't do it again.
He will. But you know what? Maybe it's the thing where it's outside. It just doesn't. He's such a good boy that.
I would rather that. I like that. I don't think I should go, so I won't. I've been getting them into dried mango recently. I'm going to give him a little treat.
What kind is it? I love dried mango.
It's called Go Man Go. You want a piece?
I guess I will. Dried mango, I love it, but it causes me to have problems with my bowels.
Yeah, it's quite fibrous.
It's so fibrous. It's like the most fibrous thing there is.
Are you okay that I touch it?
Yeah, you can touch it. Just touch it a lot.
Come here, Alvin.
I like all this acting talk. It's fun. I can't talk with many people about that. You know, and that it feels like one of those things where.
Up. Alvin, come here. Up. Good boy. Off.
Such a good name.
Sit. Good boy.
Look at that. Oh. I used to eat these, like, whole bags of these and then just be good. Good for a while.
I love a dried mango.
Oh.
Easy with the chewing sounds. Let's go away from the mic. Out of
I
respect.
think a mango is the best fruit there is. A fresh mango, it's like gel.
How do you open a mango and how do you eat it?
I haven't had, you know, I gotta get back into some classics. My my brain has been deteriorating lately, but I need to, I take a mango. My friend taught me you cut it flat where the stem is. You know what the thing about eating a mango is though? It's impossible not to make a mess. Every time I've tried to be, like I use a peeler, I do one side, but then how do you grab the other side? You have to stick like a fork in there or something like that to peel the other thing. And then to know where the pith is and where the fruit is.
Is that what's called a pith?
A pith, yeah, a pith. I have so much difficulty. I usually end up cutting off as much as I can and then just putting it in my mouth and scraping it with my teeth like a fucking monkey in the zoo over the sink. And I've got drippings everywhere. But I love it because the taste is so good. I can't stand how good the taste is. It's the greatest taste in the world.
So I don't peel a mango.
Yeah, you do. What do you mean?
No, what I do is I find where the pith is and I make 2 cuts.
Wow.
All right, so here it is. I cut on the left side of the pith and the right side of the pith.
What were you calling it before I told you it was called the pith? Pith, okay.
I don't know if I was calling it anything. I usually cut it when I'm alone so I don't have to reference it out loud.
Why is it called a pith and not a pit? So it's one letter different.
I think the person who came up with it, that's where they realized that they had an epiphany. So I have 3 pieces. I have the left side.
3 pieces.
I have 3 pithas.
Three
the left
pithas.
side, the right side,
Left side.
and then the pith.
pith.
Now the pith is where it could be messy. Where I try to get as close, kind of like when you're finding a stud. You go and then
find
there
that
it is.
stud.
And then you could eat around if you want to take the meat off of that. But then you have these 2 pieces with no pith. And then what I do is I cut it into like
Grid.
a grid,
Flip it inside out.
flip it inside out, or if you cut into the grid, you could then spoon it out. It's easier to spoon.
Okay.
I spoon it out like an avocado. I don't peel an avocado.
Wow.
I basically treat a mango like an avocado.
Wow.
No,
It's
and
kind
it's
of
great on
similar in a
salads
way.
and salsas as well.
I just like them. I don't like the do you like a Chinese chicken salad with the mandarin oranges in it?
Yeah,
You like the mandarin oranges in there.
yeah.
To me, that's the thing where I think ruins it. I'll always take them off. I can't. Anytime you put something sweet in a salad,
Oh, I disagree. And also, citrus goes very well with sesame and Asian dressings. I mean, look at orange chicken.
yeah, but that's mostly just. Is it? I don't really get an orange taste from orange chicken.
Then you're getting it from the wrong place. Also, you add sweetness. Like I put honey on hot chicken. I like
Yeah, that's-
sweet.
that's good.
Sweet and spicy and sweet and savory
Yeah,
very
you-
much.
You ever been to Honey's Kettle?
No.
Oof, it's good. It's really good. It's down in Culver City. There's a couple locations, but the closest one I know of is in Culver City.
What kind of? It's chicken.
It's chicken. The best biscuits I've ever had. I love it. It's so good.
You look like a business guy. For a Minnesota boy, you really do seem Southern.
My mom's from the South.
Your mama.
My mama's from the South. My mom's from Louisiana. So I grew up with a lot of Southern ideas.
Like what?
Just eating a lot of Southern food and Southern manners. Southern,
What are some of your Southern manners?
if you always bring something to someone's house and you never take it home with you. I failed because this is typically I would actually, but you know what? Honestly, I had a couple things I was going to bring you. I was going to bring you a t-shirt, but our puppy is not feeling well and I didn't get a chance. I'm not lying to you. I actually was going to bring you a couple shirts, but I wasn't sure.
Couple shirts?
Yeah, a couple of my merch shirts. Not to like you to advertise them, but as literally, I think you would like the shirt. Because it doesn't say my name on it or anything. It's like a design, something I made,
This is my merch.
Right, that's yours. But that's you on there. And who's that behind you?
Goblin is my mascot. Okay. And Scott Hepburn, who's a Marvel illustrator, is incredible.
Wow.
He turns, we turn guests that have been reoccurring and
God.
into different superheroes.
Damn, these are nice.
Cool, right?
This is really cool. Jeez. The honor of this is just stunning. God.
Yeah.
I can't even look it up. I'm getting jealous.
Well, maybe we'll see.
gotta
If you
keep
become
going
part of the TYSO universe, we could consider
us-
having you joining the ranks.
It only took us 6 months to plan this. How long have we been planning this?
More than that.
Are you serious? 6 months? More than
More
6
than that. I
months?
feel like it's been
2,
over a
3.
year. I
That
talked
long?
to you. I think I
Wow.
asked you a while ago, and then you said yes, but we couldn't or whatever, and then I forgot. You forgot.
Yeah.
I think I
lot of
saw you
forgetting.
outside of. We did an outdoor show like
Yeah.
2 years ago, maybe.
My God, you're right. It's been that long.
Yeah, and we talked about maybe doing it.
Yeah. You said I'm Jewish?
No, but you for a what is your religion? How were you
Catholic?
raised?
Catholic?
Yeah, for a Catholic Northerner,
Right.
you seem Jewish and Southern as well.
What is the Jewish thing, though?
You ever whistle and S comes out? It just makes
Okay, I got it.
drives me nuts.
I
in
got it.
my
Okay.
stomach.
I got it.
I should have brought a shirt. It doesn't have my name on it or anything. I didn't. My dog wasn't feeling well.
Okay, got it. Interesting. Yeah, I was going to bring...
Go down under the boat and get a ring and come back up and say, I found the ring. There's propellers. I don't feel safe.
Is that what I sound like?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh God, I don't think
I haven't. I don't think I've booked a job since 2016 auditioning. It's just everything's changed.
It's true though. Everything has changed, and I haven't, because they broke the system. The system broke itself. They ceded too much. I mean, it's all this. You ever like everything that's going on, and the people who work for you have no idea.
Who works for you?
Like your reps. Like you can tell them stuff.
Oh, what are you talking about? Knows what's going on with the industry?
Yeah. You feel like you tell them something, and it's a surprise to them, or they don't like their idea of something, or just anybody. Their idea of something is so like genuine, or they're just asking. They're doing this. It's like no, they're not. They're not doing that. They're not checking this thing. Everything is fucking dollar.
That is the salesman stuff I'm talking about. It's disingenuous. They're not trying to sell you a product. They're trying to sell you
on the comfort of their.
They're trying to sell you on you being good with them.
Yeah.
Because they will make money if you get jobs and give them money. And I have a lot of resentment towards the idea of representation. I got rid of my agents a while ago.
How long ago?
Years.
Did you see that? I saw some clip recently that made me feel very good. It was Daniel Tosh on a podcast trying to call his manager.
I saw that.
I was like, oh my God, this is delicious. It's so like to see him.
I'd also like to know if my reps would actually take my phone call. Not call. Hey, I'll call my manager. Let's see if my manager answers the phone. I gotta say my name.
Christy Smith's office.
Hey, this is Daniel Tosh. Can I talk to Christy for a second? It's an emergency.
I don't have her at this exact moment, but let me get her. Let me get her on. Give me 1 second.
They always say, "Oh, I don't have her right now. I can't get her right now." It's like she's right next to him, just going like this, going.
Hey Daniel, I can't get a hold of her, but she is traveling. So if you want to try her cell, she should be able to pick up there.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, bye. You want me to try her cell?
Yeah.
She's not going to answer. All right. So that's what an emergency gets you.
Hey, it's Christy.
Why didn't you leave a message?
People on the stuff he said, like, oh
Dude.
my God, that's so funny.
You know John DeWalt? I don't remember who knows whom.
I don't know him.
He's
No,
one of my best buds.
Okay.
And he and his wife Allison, they're writing partners.
Okay.
And they've been doing great, by the way. Sold a couple of movies recently. I don't know what I'm allowed to talk about, but like they've been doing really well. And Max Greenfield, New Girl.
Yeah.
He was on the podcast
He's
years
a great
ago.
actor.
He's amazing.
He's like,
Yeah, he's very funny and a very good actor.
yeah.
But he was on my podcast, and John, we did a bit where I said, "Hey, John, write us a multicam scene that Max and I could do together, just as a fun thing."
Like homework. He's going to do it later or did
No,
in the
on,
moment?
on the thing. So we basically cold read this scene together, and
Right.
we have I have an actor on,
Right.
and let's do a little acting thing. All right, let me give you this script.
I'm reading this cold, so if I mispronounce any words, it's because I'm not the best reader.
And as much as this is a joke, I do believe that John was into doing this
Wants me to fund it?
because he wants you to hire him, or
Do we want to read the bottom of the title page or cover, actually?
Yeah, you
where
read it.
It says ICM Partners. That's an agency for anyone listening. And then in parentheses, it says, yeah, that's right, the big boys. Give them a call when you're ready to hire me. Just call the front desk and say, I got to work with DeWalt. Set it up, then hang up immediately.
Interior, the bar where the characters always go because it's a sitcom. Rick sits on the couch, nervously playing with his Rubik's Cube because he's a neurotic and intelligent alpha genius. Done. 1 minute and 7 seconds. Chicks love a dude who finishes fast.
Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Brenda left me. I lost her. I freaking lost her!
Whoa, what WTF, bro? Brenda was your...
No,
wait,
she
wait.
was my dream girl. Don't you think I know that, Rick? What, you think Brendas just fall out of the sky? Or grow out of trees? You think Brendas grow out of trees, you son of a bitch?
No.
Yeah, no is right. I know she's my dream girl. It's friggin' Brenda! I took your advice. Thanks a lot, Richard. You idiot.
What advice? You don't mean what I said about nipple play?
Yeah, nipple play. Yes. I did exactly what you told me to do, you know, in the boudoir.
And she left? That's so bogus. Chicks love getting their nipples respectfully played with, alternating from clockwise to counterclockwise, where you gaze into their eyes and say, wow.
Wow. What a woman.
Yeah.
I know. That's what I did, just like you told me to.
And she ghosted you?
Ghosted me.
But I thought her name was Brenda, not Casper.
Do you have ICM's number? Yeah, I got to work with DeWalt. Set it up.
No, you got to say this is Max Greenfield. Doesn't it say that?
No.
Oh, but you got to let him know. You got to call him back. You got to let him know it's you. You got to. Otherwise, what's the fucking point? They're going to be like, some weirdo just called.
Hey, I'm so sorry. I just called before. Do you know who represents John DeWalt? This is Max Greenfield.
I wouldn't know who represents anyone. I only have a agent's list. I don't have a.
I should talk to a big agent.
Katie.
Hold on for me, please.
Katie.
I mean, John, I'm sorry, but it's how do you get a job in this? I mean, you're literally.
I literally was calling.
I mean, they make it so hard.
I mean.
Leave a message that you want to. We're pitching an animated show. Say you'll do a voice, maybe.
No.
Please.
Hey, Katie. This is Max Greenfield from the television show New Girl. Got to work with DeWalt. Set it up.
Not only are you not necessarily getting him this work, you have somebody who's coming saying, I want to work with this person. I want to make some, and they couldn't even facilitate that. How many things are they missing and mismanaging and then lying about?
Yeah, I mean, it's
no bueno. Now, where it gets complicated is there are some agents and managers that I'm actually friends with, and I like them as people. And the problem is it's the mob. It's a non-violent mafia, and that is what it is.
No, it definitely is. You're totally right. So much of that stuff it's the same as the mafia in the sense where it's
we're going to tax you or we're going to blackball you.
Yeah.
If you don't give us 10% of this, then we're not going to submit you. We're going to say no. We're going to behind closed doors. I know of stories of this. Yeah, you know what? He's this or he's that or she's this and they shouldn't. You know who you should do? You know who would be good? This person that I'm going to get some money from.
Yeah, because it's a thing. It's like having a restaurant, a license for your restaurant, where you don't need it to make the food, but you have to in order to play in that universe.
Yeah.
You're just having just have
liquor
this
license.
It's like a liquor license. It's just this thing that you have to play with. Otherwise, the amount to overcome is just so huge that makes it not worth it.
I officiated my friend Eric Griffin's wedding.
Oh, really?
And
how recently?
A year and a half ago.
Did you get a online?
That's the reason I bring it up.
Yeah.
I went to some whatever the hell it was. I paid $45, and they're like,
so cheap.
"You're allowed." What is this site? Who is this money going to?
Yeah.
Here, I should create a thing. Go to rickglassman.com/ordained and pay $35. And then you go marry somebody. Who is this? It's not the state of California.
Right. It's got to be something.
They might have some affiliation with the state through whatever, but then it's just, I'm paying you for permission. And that's what agents are.
Yeah.
Now, there are agents out there, I'm sure, that do stuff sometimes for some people. Like, I don't think they're just sitting there pushing buttons.
Yeah.
But, like, what do you do for me or for you? Like, same. Almost every job I've gotten has been through a relationship. That as we see it, my manager's got me that audition.
Right.
Thank you. Take the money. Take the commission. Why am I giving it to the agents, too? And then this next job that I got, they came to me. Why am I giving 25% of this away? I don't talk about this much on here. I'm just a little triggered.
But it's part of the deal. That's the thing is that
that's the mob. I don't want to agree to this.
Yeah.
If you get me work, you deserve commission. The people that get my ads for this podcast, They take 20%. I wouldn't want to negotiate that.
Right.
You're getting me some. Take the money.
Well, that's what the mob would tell you. I'm just playing devil's advocate now. Is that they would tell you, oh, you don't want us to help you? Go for it. See how the cops treat you. It's the kind of thing where.
Well, that's what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
For
some people, it's great, though. For some people, it is great who have the wherewithal to do it. But for some people, they just can't handle the that negative space, not negative space, but that like emptiness sort of. They can't handle
scary.
that vetting.
It's like breaking up with a partner.
Oh my God.
Well, I have somebody now. I don't know if I.
Yeah.
I had somebody that was representation, and this person kept saying they wanted to go to dinner with me.
Kept saying it?
Like, we got to get dinner.
Right.
We got to get dinner. It happened. I don't care if we get dinner or not. I mean,
Right.
It would be nice. Sure, let's get dinner. Or we don't have to get dinner. If that's not what the relationship is. Kept saying, let's get dinner so much to where I finally went to the point and said, let's get dinner. I said, okay, do you want to tell me a time? And we'll set it up.
Yeah.
Never dinner.
Right.
Ended up leaving the agent. Saw the agent, I don't know how long, a year. Friendly, everything's nice. Like this person. I would love to catch up. Blah, 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 blah. We really got to get dinner. I said, I'm in town for the next 3 weeks. Oh, well, I'm blah, 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 blah. I didn't care. But even then I said, well, when you're back, let's get dinner. Never heard from this person. And I'm like,
that's just Hollywood bullshit.
If you can't get dinner with me, how are you going to get me a job?
Yeah.
What if you're not thinking about me? I don't care about the dinner. I don't care about any of it. It's the selling. It's the lying. It's, hey, listen, I can't get you this unless you do this. We can't get you this because there's no market for you. Okay. I don't think it's the agent's job to get us work, but they are tools to facilitate.
Right. Yeah. As you were saying, it's the honesty versus the sort of the patter. Like you want to have something that's like, I would prefer someone just tell me, hey, look, we're going to wait to see how these things work out to see about doing more. Because we don't know for sure that you're viable enough for more of what we've already given you. Instead of just being like, oh yeah, we're checking, we're looking. Oh yeah, we've got calls out to them. Just say it, because that's what I would. I mean, I'm always thinking like, what would I do if I was in that situation? It's always like poker. I think it's like poker, where you have to just think about it. It's a poker game, and if you're playing it like a poker game, there's just certain things you wouldn't do and certain things you would do.
I guess
because
that
it's
still
all
feels
just
like
a game. But it is a game. I think it really is a game. It's if you like have a negotiation,
negotiations that's one thing.
Yeah.
Communication, professional or personal, it still could be authentic.
It could be, but some person told me a long time ago, this made the most sense to me from there on about all this stuff, is that your rep's relationship with you is less important than their relationship with broader entities. So
sure,
as much as they're going to advocate for you and try to get you into things, they might not be around. Whoever they're talking to at ABC might not be there tomorrow, but ABC is going to be there. So they want to preserve their relationships with
but
these.
there's a huge conflict of interest, and that's where packaging comes in.
It is, but the packaging's done now, so something must have replaced it, right? Because you can't just like zap out.
I don't know. How often do you get an audition?
I don't know. It comes and goes. Obviously, I've got a bunch lately because the show was so big that people want to see stuff. But even then, it's not for stuff. It's a lot of times for stuff like, I wouldn't do this even if they offered it to me, because it's just not worth my time at this point. Not more than just because of that, But I feel like there must be some sort of a vacuum because packaging went away. Because you can't just, it's like if you all of a sudden make something illegal, or I don't know. Anytime there's something that suddenly changes, it doesn't just go away. They find new ways. These are smart people. They're very smart people. They're going to find a way to get it, because they weren't living off. No one's living off commission. They're living off of bigger deals and stuff.
Points. Yeah.
This is such inside baseball.
Yeah,
it's
it
ridiculous.
is. But I'm wanting to have this conversation,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to feel bad about. We don't talk about this stuff in this pod much at all.
Right.
And like, I want to have this conversation with you, and that's this podcast is capturing a moment in time, and I'm fine with it. But if you're like, this is too inside, well, I understand that. I will say that a friend of mine once told me that they look at agents less about like, because the responsibility of putting that on them to get us jobs is wild. It's on us to get jobs.
Absolutely.
But they are still needing to provide value as we need to provide value for them, or the relationship isn't symbiotic. And what he said to me is, and I very much agree with this, is looking at them like tools. Like, hey, I want to meet with this person. I want to do this thing. I have this thing. Could you help me with that? When you go to them and you ask them stuff, the reason I'm with my manager and not my agent, I have a manager. I chose between the pick is when I reach out to my management and I ask them for something, they either do it and or talk me through a compromise of how we can or can't.
Right.
Agents that I've experienced was, yes, of course. And it was so friendly and it was so,
but then nothing.
It was such selling.
Oh yeah.
Just saying we can't. And that way I could then say, oh, okay, there's an obstacle. Let's figure out a way to hurdle this. If we can't do this, then either how can we or what could we do in place of it? But instead now I'm waiting. Oh, well, we reached out, but we reached out, but, and it's like, I started asking to be CC'd on all emails with stuff now.
Whoa, that's
that's
like my nightmare.
Why?
I want to be not emailed ever again.
Well, the reason is because I see this email goes out and then I don't hear back. They didn't, or we didn't hear back.
You see who didn't reply.
Yeah, and it's like, hey, let's follow up. Instead of being like, did we follow up?
Yeah.
I even got to the point where like I will talk to reps of, hey, I don't want to step on your job, but I'm also not going to silence myself for the status quo.
Yeah.
I will talk to people. I will talk to the studio, or I will talk to the casting directors. I will email, like, what? Why am I staying away? Like, my mom needs to talk to your mom.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's interesting. Yeah, I never thought about that.
But it is frowned upon.
When I know way more than anyone else, and they're acting like I don't. It's like, hey, I know everyone on this email. I know these people.
Yeah.
I've worked with these people.
But don't do you can't ask, you can't do. It's
no,
like,
I do. I'm
almost 30.
I'll text someone.
I'm an adult. You know?
You're almost 30. My
I'm
God.
27.
Right.
This is getting really inside, but this is like where it's just like this isn't just management and studio and entertainment business. This is like
life.
Everybody is just a person, and some of those people are pretty good at their job.
Yeah.
And even that, it's their job. They miss stuff. They don't care. It doesn't matter. Like this gamble that we've taken to move to a place and see if people will hire us so we can hit the lottery to make enough money to sustain us for years in between jobs.
Right.
I don't want to put it in this person's hands who, when I CC on the emails, I realized, they forgot to check. If I wasn't CC'd, they would have said, we emailed, I will follow up again. When I'm CC'd, I know you didn't email. You're not following up again. You're following up for the first time. Don't lie to me.
Yeah.
Be better.
That's interesting. I mean, I don't know. I've never thought about it that way. That's an interesting way to do things. I also think that a lot of times there's a certain people who they can't do anything else. They couldn't do this. You have a podcast. You built this whole thing. It's very robust. There's a lot of actors who couldn't even begin to do a tenth of this. They would drown. Help! I don't know.
They would need help.
They couldn't even do it with help. And if they did it with help, they would be doing nothing but being physically present because they just don't have the intellectual capacity. Some people don't have. Some people aren't very smart, or they're not very determined enough to do things. So they don't do things.
Also, they're not able, but more realistically, probably willing to solve problems. Like, I don't know how do you do this? Just Google it. Ask somebody. YouTube.
But a lot of people can't do that, man.
A lot of people won't do it.
They won't do it because they are scared. They're just not like a kind of person who. I always think about this. It's sort of like it's almost religious in a way, but I think it kind of goes everywhere. It's that thing where there's some old saying. It's not an old saying. It's whatever. God doesn't give you problems you can't handle. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of times there's certain people who can't write, who can't do anything. Let's just say writing is a catch-all for being personally creative.
Okay.
This is writing to me. Making a podcast is writing. It's being personally creative. There's people who literally do not have that ability, who are actors. They don't have that ability to do that. And so they end up getting a lot of things, working a lot just as an actor, because they just can't do anything else.
Okay.
That and/or their brain doesn't work in a way. Their brain works in a way where they're totally satisfied with just doing that thing, and the time between, they're going to good restaurants. They're like they're doing stuff that's fun.
Robert De Niro is probably a great example of this.
Exactly.
He doesn't write, he doesn't improvise.
Exactly.
And he's great at what he does.
He's great at what he does.
And he loves going to restaurants.
And there's a lot of people like that. I think who's famously a restaurant guy? The guy who talks like that. You know, that guy's Michael Caine. Famously loves restaurants.
Bringing up Michael Caine a lot.
Well, because I thought about the restaurant thing. So I think that a lot of people who can't do something else, that's why they end up getting that stuff. And if you have the ability to be personally creative, you got to do it. Otherwise, you're going to be miserable. And you're just not going to get as
like
much
Steve
stuff.
Coogan impersonating Michael Caine.
Exactly.
Do you, Michael Caine?
I'm not going to bury another Batman.
Another Batman? How many Batmans has he been burying? How many are there?
I've buried 14 Batmen
I've buried
so far,
14 Batmen.
and their little pointy ears
I'm
in a
not
box.
going to bury another nylon cloak with pointy ears that people wear at birthday parties.
You have to do it because your brain is like a border collie, and if you don't keep it busy, you're going to start going fucking. That's for me.
What's the point you're making connecting this to?
Because I think that I feel the same way you do about similar stuff with like wanting things to be followed up on and vetted. When it comes down to it, a lot of stuff just isn't happening because I'm not the guy, and I'm pedaling. Swimming upstream in something where I could be floating downstream with a personal project that would garner a lot more for me than doing something where I'm trying to micromanage. And
well,
I know
the personal project. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But you have that. You have a thing, so it makes sense.
But it's because you're in control of it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is, why are we giving up so much control to representation who is busy with other things and forgetting? Yeah. That's why I'm like, I want to be on this email. I want to be part of this. I want to follow up.
I agree, but I also think that
but then you annoy the other people.
That it's not worth. I'm doing that. If I do that, if I was to do that, it would be at a disservice to myself because I would be whittling away my time on something that I really can't control more than 5% of. When I should be, I hate to say should, but could be pursuing something with a lot of focus and attention and time and determination instead of worrying about all these things that I'm just, because when you go out, every audition, the second you open your mouth, they could love you or hate you. Like they might just think you're the funniest person ever, but you're not the guy. You're not the guy.
Because it's not all
right
and
away.
You might not even look the part.
Yeah.
But if you think that you'll be good at something and you want an opportunity, it's not just up to the agent or manager to get the audition. You have to contact your agent or manager saying, hey, this is out. I want to be going in for it. And if they say, well, we submitted it, and then you go, okay, then that's it. But then what you do is, what did you submit? I have this, let me send this scene or this thing. Show them this thing.
Right.
Well, they're not seeing blah, 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 blah. Let me see who's producing it. Let me see other things. I'll reach out to casting then. I mean, I did a movie called Futile and Stupid Gesture for Netflix. And where I met Max Greenfield. He was on it. And I emailed Allison Jones, the casting director. Right. You know Allison, I imagine, right?
Yeah, I think it's the first person I auditioned for. She was the person who told me not to look in the camera. It was that long ago.
Wow. During auditions, you were looking in the camera?
It was the first. Well, I think she didn't tell me. I asked. And now thinking about that now, it's like, oh my God.
That's so funny. Also, good for you for being in front of her when you were that green.
No, not bad for me.
Has she not seen you since?
She has, but
well, then
I've had some great auditions with her, but I think the casting people who like me the most book me never. I'm serious though. I love them too. I think they're great. We'll talk half an hour, but it's just not happening.
Allison has gotten me more opportunities in jobs / auditions in front of, the directors, the producers, the stars, than all my reps that I've had forever combined.
I would say that too, that there's casting people who I could owe them tens of thousands of dollars, and that would not be enough because that's the reason I have a career.
You pay your agent that.
Sure, but sometimes the money doesn't go where it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Either does the credit. Like, I think they were just talking about potentially adding casting to be nominated for awards. I think they just did it.
Casting is like to me the most important thing of all. if you have something that's cast well, nobody can make a mistake. Everyone's so, you know what I mean? It's like
very
Noah's
important.
Ark or something where you got all the ingredients there. You're good.
Anyway, I emailed Allison Jones
Right.
directly. I want to go in for this thing. I sent her a picture of me side by side Harold Ramis, who I played. She brought me in. She got me the job.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
I don't know if she would have called me in anyway. I don't know if my agents would have submitted me. I don't know if they would have.
See, I should be more proactive, I think. I think I should do that because I don't do that at all.
Well, you have to because it's your career more than it's your agents.
Right, but I just think more that what I was just telling you is that I need to be writing.
But are you doing that? Are you writing so much that you have no bandwidth to then say, hey, I want to audition for this thing?
No, but it's also if I was, then I wouldn't care about the other thing.
Fair.
I would literally wouldn't care because I'd be like, this is so interesting.
Well, are you writing your own thing now?
Yeah, I could be doing more, but I've been in a funk and I need to get out of it.
Who are you telling?
I know. Who am I telling? Am I telling you?
Oh, it's figure speech. I'm saying
Okay.
like I like preaching to the choir.
But the funk is like, I mean, it's always gonna be something. There's always like a thing you can be like, you know, I have everything to look forward to. Everything's great. I'm in a wonderful place.
You might be getting 2 more dogs.
Maybe. Should we keep talking or should I go to the bathroom and end it?
You could go to the bathroom and end it. You could go to the bathroom and we could
I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
go to the bathroom. We'll close it off in a sec.
I'll be in a different space. Oh. This is it, right? Yeah, this is it.
Let me inject you.
Buddy! Buddy! Wanna dance? Oh my gosh, I love you so much. I love you so much.
That's a beautiful dog.
Thank you.
It's a lover.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, this definitely did get inside and a little triggering of the business.
It's hard not to feel that way though, isn't it? It's hard. It's like, but it's not also speak to your passion, right? If you feel emotionally invested in something, it's a career, you know. It's a strange career.
I'm sensitive to being taken advantage of.
Oh, me too.
I know humans are. Where do
Yeah.
you connect with that? Like, is there something as a kid where you were?
No, not necessarily. I think more just like, I think if you have a bowel disease, you have very serious issues with control. So you seek to have control every place else. And what taking advantage of is this, it's a version of control, right? Because you're being, you don't know everything. So someone's taking advantage of you.
Yeah.
It's a loss of control. So I think I try to have control over a lot of things that other people would not want to have control over, because I don't have control over something that most people do have control over. So it's like a thing where I think that's I mean, so much of the time, I think everything is just psychology, you know? It's almost like kind of boring how much stuff is psychology. It feels like
it's good writing, intention, inspiration, the why.
Yeah. That's the why for
when I was a kid, I wasn't really included in things, and people didn't invite me places, but I didn't.
Like birthday parties and stuff like that?
On this, like on my block.
Where did you grow up?
In Cleveland, suburbs
Cleveland.
of Cleveland.
That's
yeah.
cool.
But like, yeah, there were birthday parties on my block that I wasn't invited to. The neighborhood kids would, like, if they were playing basketball outside, I would walk over, not thinking that they didn't want me there and play with them. But then once they went inside, like, you're not allowed in.
Did you have glasses then?
Yeah, I think
That's
that might
it?
be why.
Isn't that weird? Glasses?
I don't
Glasses
really
is
think
just
that's
like,
why.
You don't think that's why? What is it?
People didn't want to be friends with me.
Was it something?
I was annoying and hyper, and also I didn't pick up on social cues, and I didn't recognize things, and I took things at face value. When people said, "Oh, you can't because of this," I'd be like, "Oh, okay," and instead of taking the hint and stopping it, I would keep asking if I could play.
Let's just say that.
Let's just say that I was lingering to people that weren't interested, and then I had and then in school, like I had to go in these special classes, and these teachers would be watching me and writing down things about me that weren't even true.
Like scientists?
No,
writing down
just
stuff like
my behavior. I've talked about it before, but like they would say I'd stab myself and I burned myself a cigarette. You know,
a cigarette.
I had a little mark on my hand from tough actin Tinactin, upside down canned air, basically.
Yeah.
And they said that I would stab myself because you put like pins through the dead skin. You remember that?
Of course, that was
but they
a cool
wouldn't say
thing.
that. They would say he burns himself with cigarettes, he stabs himself, he does these things. And I didn't know about these things, and I didn't pick up on this stuff. And then the report at the end, all these things came out, and I had to go to this special school for a while, and blah, blah, blah. But the point is, like, took things at face value and I believed what people would say and I gave people the benefit of the doubt and I thought people liked me and I thought people are sincere. And I realized how untrue my experiences with that were.
Right.
So I became hypersensitive of understanding people's intentions and why. And like, hold on a second, is this real? What's this and why? I'm quite skeptical. I wouldn't say I'm pessimistic, but I want to visualize and understand stuff. So
I'm pretty skeptical too. I don't like it though. I hate it.
Yeah, it's taxing.
Yeah,
but also like
it's taxing.
It puts you in a position to look out for yourself and finding that balance of trusting people to do their job, but having them earn that trust first. There's something about like back to the salesman thing. Like once I trust somebody's motivation, even if it's not, hey, Rick, I think this is best for you, but hey, Rick, I got to be honest with you. Our quota is this. I need to make this much money at the end of the day. I do want to sell this, but like, I want to make it worth it to you. How could we figure that out?
Right, I see what you're saying.
Just trusting people's motivations. Not that it needs to be the most pure, but I want them to be candid and transparent. And I speak that way.
It's like a weapons manufacturer. It's the only companies now that are honest.
Are they?
Because think about it. Every other company is like, oh, tampons. So they have lead in them. They've had lead in them for God knows how long. And now we're just finding this out. Or like every company that makes chemicals. Oh, DuPont, Dow. Everyone's lying about
I wouldn't say that weapons are the most honest.
But I mean, it's honest because it's like we're making things to destroy people. So
from that point, I guess.
You know what I'm saying? It's like a thing where
there are brands out there though that are like, we're trying to do it this way, and this, and you know, they're more. I mean, there's a big movement now in brands being philanthropic, obviously to look good,
right?
But
absolutely.
also certain types of regulations that they self-impose,
right.
But then their prices are more expensive.
Sure, but also they don't have to disclose anything. It's all bullshit.
I don't believe it's all bullshit.
I feel like
look at the ingredients. I mean, stuff could be hidden, but like there are things that we can do to better educate ourselves.
I just found out this company, this YouTube channel called Epic Gardening, is run by a private equity hedge fund, and they could buy out one of the biggest independent seed companies. So now private equity owns this mom and pop seed company. It's like you see something like that.
Yeah, it's dark.
Like, what's safe? Everything's being manipulated by.
But just disclose it. Disclose it.
But they didn't, because if they did disclose it, people would be like, fuck no, I'm not going to do that. Because
look at what Trump does. Not that he's being honest. And by the way, I don't avoid politics because I don't want to alienate my audience. I avoid it because I'm not.
I don't know. Yeah.
I'm not the most informed voter.
Right.
I just, I watch and I read sometimes, but like Trump will say stuff that is crazy.
Right.
That you can't say, or people won't like you. And then people are like, we like it because he says it. I saw an old interview with him on Larry King.
Oh my God, but it's so funny.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I feel like I do. I like to rewatch.
He says you have to sit. Can you sit further away? Your breath is really bad. Does anyone ever tell you how bad your breath is?
He said that to Larry King?
Do you mind if I sit back a little bit? Because your breath is very bad. It really is. Has this ever been told to you before?
No.
Huh? Okay, then I won't bother. No, actually,
that's how you get the edge.
Wow, talk about putting someone off immediately.
Well, people are attracted to it, for right or for wrong.
Wow.
I do think there is something attractive about transparency.
It's very attractive. Remember that scene in 40-Year-Old Virgin where Marissa Tomei is sleeping with Steve Carell? Is that the movie?
Yeah.
Am I thinking of
No, you're thinking of Crazy Stupid Love.
Yeah, same movie, basically.
Very different.
Remember
Steve Carell,
remember how she's like...
What a movie.
She's so attracted to him because he's being honest with her?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that. It's the same thing.
I think honesty could be a superpower because you would think anybody could be honest, but the truth is you could only be as honest as your awareness allows you, and you have to be honest with yourself and understand why you feel before you could express it to somebody else. And I think it's a practice that is avoided. Like we talked about before about being uncomfortable is okay as long as you're safe, but people mistake discomfort for lack of safety, and you have to be around. I don't know. We don't know each other that well, but I've seen you do comedy here and there for 10, 15 years now.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we share a similar thing where like we feel safe in being uncomfortable.
Yeah, I kind of like it.
Yeah.
I've gotten used to being uncomfortable. So it's like if you can be comfortable being uncomfortable, so to speak, then it's like a pretty cool thing. I feel it's very very powerful You have a lot of agency if you can handle that.
There's a sense of, I think that is closely correlated to honesty, because you're not pretending something.
Right.
I mean, we still do, but you're not pretending because we're uncomfortable. So we get to be, are you ever on stage and you're awkward or uncomfortable, but you actually are, but you're just okay with it?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I think everything has happened at this point, you know? There's been like an example for everything, but I've definitely been, I'll feel awkward, I guess. Or maybe feel like, what always gets me is when you can't hear things super well. Like if something's kind of quiet, anytime I don't call something out, that's when I feel the worst.
Because you're in your head now?
Yeah. Like if I say something that's maybe, I just realized I was trying to pander. And if I don't call it out, then I feel like my skin crawls.
You're saying exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's a sense of need to be transparent. That's honesty.
But people love that though. The first time I got like a call back for some stand-up thing was when I went on stage. If you address anything in the present at all, people are like, oh.
It's almost cheating in a way.
Yes. But then you can go on to talk about other things, and it seems like those other things are still in the same vein of that addressing the present, even though it could be very rehearsed.
Well, that's because they're getting to know you, or at least they feel like they are.
If you or remember when Jennifer Lawrence tripped when she was going up to the stage? It was a big deal. You know, whenever however 10 years ago that was. She was walking up to the stage for some award show and she tripped. And she's like, I'm so embarrassed. And the world just fucking loved her. We loved her so much. Why do we love her so much? Because she was honest. She was embarrassed. She was at this big award show and she tripped and she was embarrassed.
Do you know Dan Gill?
Yeah.
We were Just for Laughs. JFL. Is it New Faces or Fresh Faces? I never remember.
I think it's
which
New
one
Faces, yeah.
We're doing the New Faces thing.
Right.
Which is like a big deal back then.
The biggest deal.
And like all the agents and the producers in the industry are there.
Yeah.
And I think Dan's very funny. He was doing a joke. It was about Goofy. I don't remember exactly
Goofy
what it was.
the character?
What's that?
Goofy
Yeah, he was doing a joke about the Disney character Goofy. And it's not my place to tell, but this was so long ago and I'm not going to do the joke, but basically it was brilliant premise of he's a divorced single dad, like just all the darkness of it, but like he's the goofy, he's the happy one. And I thought he was being really funny, but he must have not. And he goes, and he kicked the speaker and he turned away. He goes, Dan, this is the world stage right now. And like it's funny because you're calling it out and that's fun, blah, blah, blah. But it was so honest. It was so like he wasn't happy with it. And not that he was happy by expressing himself necessarily, but like that freedom to just be honest of it. It's just so attractive. Yeah. It's so funny. It's not even funny because it's a joke. It's funny because it's honest. And like, I mean, how many years ago was this? 12 years ago? 11 years ago? And 12. And I still remember it. It's the world stage, man. And he kicked the microphone and he took 20 seconds to collect himself before going back into his bit. Which I knew was real, but somebody could argue that's a bit in itself because it's so funny.
Yeah, it's such a big choice.
But it was so honest. And like, I already liked him, but ever since then, I'm like, oh, this guy I just trusted him.
Yeah.
You know, I could be wrong. You just trust people when they tell you how they're feeling.
Yeah.
Man, this Magic Man is really kicked in right now.
I'm fucking zipping. I'm floating.
Sorry, I was talking too much.
What do you mean talking too much? It's a podcast.
Nice. Okay.
Do you ever look at the comments?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, my comments are really great.
Really?
Yeah. I don't read comments on other people when my guest appearances anymore.
What do you mean?
When I go on somebody else's podcast, I'm not going to look at those comments.
Do you look at comments on YouTube only? Or
versus?
I don't know. Is this on the TikTok or something? I don't know. Is it on?
Oh, social? Yeah, I'll look at other, but the amount of comments on social compared, unless like a TikTok, sometimes some clips were viral, but for the most part, you know, you get 80 comments maybe. YouTube's in the thousands.
Yeah.
I'll go through YouTube, not as much as I used to. There's a lot more comments now, but I'll look through, see how people are feeling. I also really like when people put timestamps so I can maybe turn that into a clip.
Yeah, it's always funny to me. Like I try not to look at it at all because I get like stuck in it and I'll see like one comment to where the person is so wrong that it makes me angry. Not so much like not saying something mean is fine because you're just saying something mean. I don't care. But they're so wrong about what they're saying that I'm like, oh,
You feel the need to argue it?
Yeah, like one person commented on some bit I did on some podcast, like, this is a long bit. It's like, what? It's a podcast. Should it be super tight? Like, what's it supposed to be? Like, and there's other people who, like, who are you?
Then don't read it. If it bothers you like that,
yeah,
they don't bother me like that.
Sometimes, most of the time, they don't. If I'm in a good headspace, a bad comment makes me happy because I'm thinking like, wow, this is so evocative that it made a person say something mean. Evocative mean like evoking.
Got it.
That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Using the word that is the word to describe the word.
I realize it because it's provocative.
Provocative.
But it's not pro.
I think evocative means more like, ooh, that's a difference. Provocative. Provocative is like tantalizing.
What does evocative mean?
Evocative evokes like a thing.
Bringing strong image, memory, or feelings to mind.
Yeah.
What does provocative mean? It's usually in something that not necessarily negative, but dirtier is how I think of it. Causing annoyance. Oh, it is. Anger or another strong reaction. So provocative is the opposite.
So I think it's
pro.
I like it when something's evocative enough to elicit a dumb person to say something stupid. Because it feels like a compliment in a way. Like when I'm in my best self, when my head's really good, it's like I take stuff in a good way. But sometimes it's like you can't control how your head is. That's your boy. And he's my boy.
Thank you. This is what? Rick.
Rick.
Yes.
Johnny.
I keep calling you buddy.
You can call me buddy. You can call me buddy.
Thanks.
You can call me buddy. Some people can't call me buddy.
Could Richard Linklater call you buddy?
No.
What's your beef with him? What happened?
No, can he? Did you say, did he or can he?
Can he?
Yeah, you can call me buddy. You know what? I would prefer for him to call me my name or sir.
Sir.
Your head, sir. Sir is a funny thing.
Ironically, I have.
Oh, I've had sir because I was working on this thing in a different country, and it's it's more.
What country? Florida?
South Africa. Oh yeah, I got it. That was late. I was late. You know how some people are more
You're
like
in South Africa.
Yeah. I can't do it. I could do it the other day. I was in a real.
Why were you doing South Africa the other day?
Because someone was talking about how they're going there, and I was like, I'll give you some tips.
Was this Fallout?
No, it was a different thing. But
is it out yet?
It's been out years ago.
What is it?
It's a movie.
District 9?
No, it's not. It just doesn't take place in South Africa.
Yeah, but the guy's from South Africa. South Africa.
Right, but the movie that we did not take place there. We just shot it there because it's cheaper to shoot a movie there because it's South Africa. Well, everyone's like, oh, fucking laka, bro. That's fucking crazy. You have some 5 roses tea for me, my friend, bruh.
What was the project?
It was called Action Point. It was a movie about that place, Action Park in New Jersey.
That was cheaper to film in South Africa?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because all kinds of stuff, like tax incentives, stuff is just cheaper, like labor is cheaper. You can get like a big, I don't know. It's all that stuff. It's
People
all that
going,
thing.
even the movie industry is going to Africa for cheap labor.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something.
And no one's got no money no more, but they're trying to do the best they can. And that's why stuff gets hard.
Yeah.
But it's,
That's why I say, CC yourself on the emails.
We're supposed to be making the season 2 of Fallout in LA, maybe.
Where did you film that?
Mostly around
Nevada?
New York. We did go to South Africa or to Namibia for a couple weeks. And we went to Utah too.
You were great in it, man. And you got to be funny in it in a way where it wasn't a comedy.
It was, yeah, I don't know. I mean,
it's kind of comedy. I think of that show as kind of a comedy, to be honest.
It is comedy. I think it is a comedy. Yeah. It's a unique blend of things. I don't even know.
So well done.
I loved getting to do it. It's like, I loved it.
And things have been going well. You've been getting auditions and stuff. And any jobs?
No, I don't think so. No.
This is their most streamed show ever, I think, right? It's Amazon as well.
It is.
And my show was probably the least streamed.
I gotta see this, though.
Statement.
That doesn't mean anything, though.
I mean, both critic score and the Rotten Tomatoes, it was so high.
What's
and
it called
that doesn't
again?
mean anything either. As we see, if you just Google Rick Glassman, Amazon Prime.
I want to see this now.
It's really good.
Who else is in it?
I don't Joe Montana is really the only name.
I like him. Great voice.
Sosie Bacon Kevin Bacon and Kara Sedgwick's
right.
daughter, who doesn't have ulcerative colitis, but she does have to poop a lot. No, she poops her pants a lot.
She poops her pants a lot.
Whew, man, there's just a huge shit. Whoa, what's this? Wow, this is really cute. Should I try it on? I'll try it for size. So cute. I think that this fits. It's a small because I'm skinny. I'm Kevin Bacon's daughter, and I take huge shits.
Okay, great. Well, I don't know if it's always in her pants, but she just takes huge shits.
Does she like take pictures of them and show them to people, or what? How do you know this?
I just worked with her. She was just always taking shits, just constantly taking shits.
Oh, she's always going, Michael, 10-2.
Yep. It wasn't Michael, but a lot of 10-2s. And Chris Pang and Sue Ann and Albert, and it was a great cast, but we got canceled after one season. And it's Jason Katims, who did Parenthood and Friday Night Lights, and he's amazing. He's brilliant and such a good show. And they had the whole second season written. The whole second season was already written when they canceled it. Because it was after COVID stuff, so they had extra long break, and they waited. That it was they had to let us know by a certain time. They let us know that day, so I couldn't audition for other things. Fortunately, that ABC show wanted to have me, so I was on 2 shows at once for a second, but then that one got canceled.
Damn.
But like, it's so hard to get jobs out here, man. I'm also a little nervous. We'll wrap it up because I think Alvin
over there. Alvin's over.
Yeah, he has the potty.
Yeah.
Come back on again, please. Do you get high? I don't remember. I feel like you used to.
Sometimes, yeah, I get high, but usually not. Usually only at home.
I feel like I wanted to get high with you, but I didn't because it's early afternoon. But I want you back on. I want to have you on with some maybe another buddy and do a silly one.
If we got high, we would get. It would get on.
Plug your everything's.
You can go. All my ticket links are johnnypemberton.dog. That's my real website, johnnypemberton.dog.
.com was taken, and you found dog.
.com got taken by us. I had it. They took it, and now they want me to pay a lot of money to get it back. I'm not going to pay them.
I understood.
So .dog. I have shows coming up. Midwest, and when will this come out? How soon?
Next week.
Oh, in that case, yeah. I have shows. I'll be in Seattle, September 6th and 7th. Then I'll be in
Laughs Comedy Club
at Laughs, and I'll be in I'll be in Milwaukee, Minneapolis, and Madison, Wisconsin, September 19th, 21st, and 22nd.
Brilliant. I was supposed to do Laughs Comedy Club last weekend, but I had to cancel.
Oh.
And reschedule.
Yeah.
And I am now going to be at Laughs Comedy Club November 15th, 16th, I think. Also be in Washington, D.C. at the Improv September 28th. And I'm doing a Texas run. I'll be at the Dallas Addison. I don't know the difference.
Addison Improv. That's really big, isn't it?
November 6th. Houston, November 7th. That one's huge.
Ooh.
And then in Austin, doing 2 shows. Friday, November 8th at the Creek in the Cave. Get some tickets at punchup.live/Glassman. Links to my tickets will be in the description. Links to your tickets will be in the description.
Oh, yes.
So if you accidentally typed in com, it doesn't matter. .dog will be right there. Just go up and then scroll down. You'll see all the stuff.
Buy the premium plan on Amazon.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, you can get it without ads now if you want.
Ooh, get the premium plan on Amazon. I mean, if you have Amazon Prime, isn't that already a thing?
Yeah, but you have to watch with ads now.
Oh, I've noticed that. I've been watching some movies recently, but it's just ads at the beginning.
Yeah,
I'm fine with it.
That's why no one, I think, does it, because it's kind of like, I can take a couple ads.
Also, it reminds us of the old days.
The old days are coming back.
Hey, you know what else is coming back? Theme music.
Scoot doo.
And so are Polaroids.
Blabbity blue.